A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all-old-time radio.
Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and good hot Ralston present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed adventure, Buzz and Happy have made a forced landing on a new planet beyond the outer reaches of the solar system. As they cautiously explore the jungle region, they hear the thud of huge feet and a terrifying bellow.
Commander, look, what is it?
A dinosaur, a prehistoric monster.
It's coming this way.
Get back to the ship quickly.
It's easy. It's after us.
You've got to get to the ship before it tramples.
Oh, would our ray gun stop it?
There's no time to experiment. Into the ship.
It's almost on top of us.
Close the hatch. Battering the ship. It's big enough to crush us like an eggshell. We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Menace of Planet X. Hey, do you hear that, Space Patrollers? That's the Terra City Express train. It's trying to get up speed on ordinary fuel. Not very speedy, was it? But now listen to that same train with super fuel in its tank. Yes, sir, that train's really traveling now because it's supercharged with super fuel. Now, without a good breakfast, gang, you can't go very fast either. But with super fuel in your tank, why, you're supercharged. Here's how Buzz Corey gets up ahead of steam in the morning. He has a good breakfast with Rice Chex or Wheat Chex, the super cereals that help to supercharge you. For taste, they're terrific. For size, perfect, because they both have that modern bite-sized design. So, gang, get off to a quick start in the morning the way Buzz Corey does. Eat a good power breakfast with Rice Chex and Wheat Chex and get supercharged. In the red and white checkerboard packages with the mysterious magic space picture on the inside. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex. And now, today's Space Patrol adventure. Rumors of a strange planet beyond the outermost regions of the solar system have reached Commander Corey. Space pilots relate fantastic tales of a weird world, shrouded with mist, a world of glaciers and jungles, where monstrous beasts prowl and do battle. A Space Patrol agent has been sent to the area to check on the stories. But as the hours pass and the agent fails to return, Buzz and Happy blast off from Terra to search for him. Now, in the lonely void, billions of miles beyond the Pluto orbit, the commander and Cadet Happy scan the viewscope screens.
According to the astrogation chart, Commander, we're 12 million GUs beyond the point where Simmons was last heard from.
You mean his last intelligible message, Happy? Or was that garbled signal 3 hours later?
Yeah, but Major Robertson wasn't sure it came from Simmons. Only about 3 words came through clearly.
Whether it was from Simmons or not, it's worth investigating if it came from this far beyond the solar system.
Yeah, whoever sent it must have been having hallucinations if they thought they saw a new planet. If there was one out there, we'd have sighted in the viewscope by now.
Well, we can't be sure the message said a new planet had been sighted, Happy. All we know is the planet was mentioned.
Well, do you think there could be one way out beyond Pluto?
Well, the Space Patrol has more urgent problems than proving or disproving the existence of a new planet. The last 4 months, more than 200 people have died, chiefly from the outer planet, Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus. And so many spaceships have disappeared that people are afraid to make trips out beyond Saturn anymore.
It might be meteors big enough to blast a ship to pieces without leaving a trace.
That's one thing we don't have to worry about happening. This improved repeller ray can deflect most of the meteors we'll ever encounter. Happy, there's something in the viewscope.
Simmons ship.
No, it's too big. Put on the electronic mass computer.
Yes.
Now focus on that tiny dot at the edge of the screen. That's it. too big for a meteor, Happy. It's a planet. A planet nearly the size of Earth.
And these rumors were true.
Yes. When Simmons came out here, he must have seen it. Happy, we're heading our ship for that unknown planet. Planet X. Planet X. A world so remote from the solar system it has escaped detection by the most powerful space telescopes. A world at this instant emerging from myth and legend into reality. But there is one man who has known of its existence for some time and has kept it a secret. Over the years, he has built an empire on the strange planet, enslaving the subhuman natives and surrounding himself with criminals and scum of all the planets. He is Commander Corey's arch-enemy, Prince Baccarati. The towers of his huge, gaudy castle rise into the mist. Mists that swirl about banners emblazoned with Baccarati's dread symbol, a black falcon. Within the castle, the prince, accompanied by Dr. Malengro, a warped scientific genius, opens a heavily barred door and enters a room where a haggard figure slumps against the cold stone wall.
Simmons, get up.
He's been like that for an hour and a half. I think he's going to kill him.
I'll get him up. On your feet.
Take your hands off me, you big overdressed clown.
You're like all the rest of the Space Patrol. Don't know how to act in the presence of your superior.
Superior. Just because you can bully a lot of primitive natives on this backwash planet doesn't mean you're anything more than a big wind.
No lieutenant of the Space Patrol is going to make a fool out of me. Waste no more time on this stubborn fool. I think he came across my planet by accident.
Johannes, when he doesn't return, Corey will send a search mission after him.
That's true. But we have nothing to fear. We'll never get close to the planet. We can destroy a whole fleet of Space Patrol ships with our controlled meteors. And in a few weeks, I'll have my own fleet of spaceships built out to the point where we can attack the United Planet.
What will you do with Lieutenant Simmons?
Oh, now, have been taken to the glacier. They'll be put to work in the Endurian mines. They'll be stopped humans.
But Johannes, he won't survive more than a week underground. Only the natives can endure the cold up there in the mine. He's in Taret Jupiter.
I only wish I could send Commander Corey out there, too. Come on, Malengo. Let's go out to the tower and check the view.
Returning to the tower of his castle, Prince Baccarati sits before the control panel, watching an enormous viewscope screen that covers an entire wall. Sector by sector, the sensitive instrument scans the black void between Planet X and the solar system. Beside the prince stands Dr. Malengro, smiling proudly at the instrument that he's created. Your hour of triumph is close at hand. Millions will tremble at your name. And Mercury, Venus, Terra, Mars, the Earth.
Stop your planetary roll call. Look at the screen. Isn't that a spaceship? It is. It's a Space Patrol ship.
Only one.
It's Commander Corey's ship. See the insignia? Terrified.
I suppose he's sighted the planet.
Of course he has. He's coming right toward it. This is the 10th typing radio code. We can't immediate control.
Ready, Johannes?
Now, focus the beam out toward the meteor gas. Now, you'll see how Prince Baccarati welcomes visitors.
Happy, this is incredible. Planet X not only has land, but vegetation, thick vegetation near the equator.
Remember those rumors about jungle growth and giant animals?
Yes, but they're still too far away to confirm that. All we can be sure of now is that there's a desert region, a zone of vegetation, and ice caps at both poles.
The meteor warning system.
Look, there's a swarm of meteors heading right toward our ship.
Oh, smoke and rockets. Where did they come from?
Check their trajectory on the viewscope so we'll know how to avoid them.
Yes, but they seem to be swerving out of that meteor belt we checked at 18 degrees high.
You're right, Happy. They're not following a consistent orbit. They're being pulled right toward us.
Commander, we're in a collision course. They're converging on us, a whole flock of them.
Here's where we test our super repeller ray, Hap.
Commander, several meteors are coming head on. Is it working?
We'll know in a couple of seconds. Watch the viewscope. Look at their trajectories now. Our super repeller rays scattering in all directions.
But what made them come right toward us in the first place? We weren't anywhere near their regular orbit.
I don't know, Happy. But this might explain why we haven't had a reply from Lieutenant Simmons.
Yeah, he didn't have a super repeller ray on his ship.
No, he didn't. But there's a chance we may have landed safely on Planet X. We'll circle the planet and keep calling him.
I know what's happening. None of those meteors is taking effect.
Standard has always worked before?
Yes, on our dummy test ship, but this is Commander Corey. If he sends out a report on this planet... Yes, Captain, what is it?
The Space Patrol is trying to escape.
Escape?
We were taking him to a spaceship to transport him to the glacier. There's a dispute between his guards and then the confusion escaped.
Oh, the big punch. Search every inch of the castle ground.
But he's beyond the castle walls, headed south toward the jungle.
In that case, let him go. With those monsters in the jungle, Lieutenant Simmons won't survive more than a few hours. Back to your post, Captain. I have more important things to do.
Yes, Your Highness.
Milagro, what good is your stupid invention? Corey's getting so close to our planet, we can't hurl any more meteors at him.
Seems to have some defense against him. But there is still our orbit controller. We can neutralize Corey's controls, operate his ship from here. We can crash it in the desert.
Let's do something of that. Suppose we force him down in the jungle. Yeah. Land him safely. Let him think he has a chance for so long. Not knowing about the giant lizards, the prehistoric monsters. We'll see how effective Corey's superior brain is against 100 tons of brute force. Switch on the robot control.
Change our vector.
He's trying to, sir, but the ship won't respond.
Let me try. Feels like the controls are frozen.
Commander, we're losing altitude.
Adjust your seatbelt, Happy. We're going to crash.
Yes. Hey, what happened?
We just had the luckiest crash landing on record. Huh?
You mean the ship landed itself?
Yes. Right in the middle of the jungle.
I'm sure lucky the rockets cut out when they did. It would have been smeared all over Planet X.
Hap, look out the nose for it. Those are birds.
Yeah. Tropical birds. Just like I know.
There must be a breathable atmosphere on Planet X. Oh, that's a break. We'll be here for some time. Let's get out of the ship.
Oh, this pond is hot. Like a steam bag. These giant ferns must be 80 feet high. I wonder if those birds are good to eat. I mean, when our ship's supplies run out.
We've got emergency rations for 6 weeks. But we'll be able to repair the ship before then.
Hey, Commander, what's that?
I don't know. Sounds like an animal of some kind, a big one.
It's coming this way. Smoking rockets, Commander. Look at that. What is it?
A giant dinosaur.
A dinosaur?
Get back to the ship quickly. It's season.
Commander, it's after us.
We've got to get into the ship before it tramples us to death.
Would our ray gun stop it?
No time to experiment. Into the ship quickly.
It's almost on top of us.
Close the hatch.
Commander, it's right outside the door. It's flying at the ship.
Keep your fingers crossed, Happy. That beast is big enough to crush this ship like an eggshell. We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. Hi, gang. This is Captain Dick Tufeld reporting. Say, how about a briefing on space talk? So you can talk like a regular space patroller, okay? Here we go. Hot rockets. Use it instead of oh boy like that. Hot rockets. Look at that boy pedal that bike. Here's some more space talk, gang. Supercharged. That means wade into a good power breakfast with rice checks or wheat checks, so you can have the zip and rip of a space patroller. And, gang, that's exactly what Buzz Corey wants you to do. He wants you to supercharge every morning. So just have yourself a hearty breakfast with rice checks or wheat checks. the super cereals that help to supercharge you. Good? Nope, they're terrific. And remember, they're the cereals with that mysterious magic space picture on the inside of the package. So, supercharged, gang, get Chex today. You just can't be without them. And Hot Rockets, are they ever good? Now back to our Space Patrol adventure, The Menace of Planet X. With the aid of Dr. Malengro, Baccarati sighted Corey's ship through a mammoth viewscope in the tower room of the Prince's Castle on Planet X. Using a robot-controlled beam, Baccarati forced the commander's ship down in the jungle, where Buzz and Happy were attacked by a giant dinosaur, one of the monsters that inhabit the steaming jungle region. Now the enormous creature rips at the hull of the ship with all the force of its 100-ton bulk.
Commander, it's going to tip the ship over.
It's only a matter of time till it batters in the hull. Oh, if we could only blast off.
Maybe if we open the hatch and fired at the dinosaur with our ray gun.
It'd be like hitting an elephant with a fly swatter. He'd ram that armored head of his inside the hatch and we'd be finished.
Well, what are we going to do? If the rockets won't work, we're stuck.
Hey, wait. Our lighting system still operates. Maybe the super repeller ray will work, too. Brace yourself, Happy. The ship may lunge around a bit.
Yes, sir. It's working.
It's propelling him away from the ship.
Wow, look at him go.
Look at the plants out there. They're bending away from the ship like a strong wind we're blowing.
Yeah, and the birds, they're leaving, too.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's lucky you thought of that repeller ray, sir. A few more blows and that dinosaur would have caved our hull in.
Well, that ought to discourage our giant friend for a while.
All the books I've read say the dinosaurs are extinct. I guess this dinosaur can't read.
Yeah. Happy. Look out the viewport to the north. It's like smoke rising up out of the jungle.
Oh, it does. A thin column of blue smoke. I can barely make it out against the mist.
It's too damp here for a fire to start naturally.
Yeah, but how else could it start?
Someone's in here. Let's have a look.
You mean go out there, sir? Outside the ship?
Of course. We can't find out anything sitting here.
Oh, yeah, but what about the things? The animals?
We'll keep under cover and move as quietly as possible. Meantime, several miles to the north, Prince Baccarati watches the giant viewscope screen in the tower room of his castle. Mile after mile of jungle moves across the screen. Then, as the prince makes delicate adjustments, the vegetation becomes transparent, and the dark hull of a grounded spaceship looms up in the tangled growth of tree-high ferns. A smile of triumph is on the evil face of Prince Baccarati. Behind him, a door opens, and Dr. Malengro hurries in.
There's trouble in the north, in the glacial region.
What is it now?
The slaves in the Endurium mines. They have taken over base camp number 2. They have weapons and supplies.
I'll order an attack immediately. Fate can't revolt against Prince Baccarati.
May I remind your Highness that you would lose most of your men in an attempt to regain control of the base camp? The rebels are in a position to fight off all opposition and sabotage the mines.
You're right. Well, then we'll put Plan C into operation immediately.
Plan C? You mean blow up camp number 2?
Of course! Any one camp is expendable. When its destruction will save the other 2. We can handle the whole operation from this tower. The turn of a switch here, a cosmic explosive, and camp number 2 will blast the rebels to bits.
But, Your Highness, some of your men may still be alive in the camp, captives of the rebels.
Well, if they're unable to protect my interests, they are of no use to me. First, we'll broadcast the demand to surrender. If they ignore it, well, they will serve as a lesson to others who try to oppose Prince. I think I see flames through the undergrowth, sir. Right up ahead.
Happy, hear that?
Yes, sir. Come on. There's a man coming toward us.
With a Space Patrol uniform, Hap. Come on.
Commander Corey.
Yes, Lieutenant Simmons. Hold him, Happy. He's about to collapse.
Take it easy, Lieutenant. Here, lean against me.
He's hurt. We'll carry him to the ship.
I'll be all right, Commander. I heard your ship land. I managed to get a fire going.
We saw it. Did you land in the jungle, too?
No, sir. At a castle a few miles to the north.
Castle?
It sounds like I'm out of my head, but I'm not. Commander, Prince Baccarati is here on this planet.
Baccarati?
He's built up an empire here. Rounded up some of his old gang and made the natives work for him.
Natives? On this planet?
Yes. They're very primitive. Never advanced beyond Stone Age culture. Baccarati's forcing them into slave labor. Up north in the glacier region, he's got thousands working in the Endurium mine. That's where he was going to send me when I escaped.
We'll take you to the ship, Lieutenant. When you rest up, you can help us fix the controls and we'll blast off.
Yeah, something went wrong. Lucky we landed easy.
That wasn't luck. Baccarati forced you to land, like he did me. He'll never get that ship off the ground.
Unless we get to Baccarati. How far is this castle from here?
It took me 6 hours to get here. Commander, don't go near that castle. Baccarati hates you like poison. You'll end up in the glacier or worse.
If you get out, Lieutenant, we can get in. And we can't stay in the jungle. How'd you escape?
Through a tunnel in the wall, sir. It was used to haul materials from the quarry when the castle was being built.
It's obvious you're too weak to go back with us. We'll leave you in the ship. And Happy and I'll go on to Baccarati's castle.
If you could wait till I rest up, Commander.
It'll be a day or two before you're fit to travel. You'll be safe in the ship. Just tell us how to find the tunnel. We're nearly at the end of the passage now.
What part of the castle does the tunnel lead to?
The sub-cellar. We'll work our way up to the main tower. Have your ray gun ready.
Yes, sir.
All right, come on.
Well, there isn't much light down here.
Come on. Take those stairs at the end of the cellar.
Stand right here, you are. Don't try to turn around, either of you. Don't try to use your weapons, or I'll be forced to use mine. This weapon in your back is a plastic gun.
A plastic gun?
When I pull the trigger, you will be completely encased in a coating of transparent plastic. You couldn't move. Now, will you drop your weapon while you're still able to?
All right. Drop your gun.
Yes, sir.
Very wise. It would be rather awkward to move with plastic stacking. Now, step into the elevator. I'll turn you over to Prince Baccarat.
There's no answer from Base Camp 2, Your Highness. But they must be listening. Might I suggest one more warning?
They had all the warnings they're going to get. Turn on the detonator ray machine. We'll blow our base camp number 2.
At once, Your Highness.
Get moving. Go in.
What's the meaning of this interruption?
I found them in sub-cellar 5, Excellency.
Well, well. Commander Cook, welcome. Now that you're here in my castle, there's no use wasting power. Cut off the robot control on his ship, Menace. He's not going back to you.
If you don't turn us loose, it'll only be a matter of time that a squadron of space patrol ships finds your planet and turns this castle into a pile of rubble.
Oh, you're just so terrifying me, Commander. I can cope with any force the Space Patrol sends against me. Correct! You dare to let the Prince Baccarati also go!
I'll remember that, Baccarati.
Careful, Commander. My guard can render you helpless with his pesky gun.
I understand you're playing Emperor again, Baccarati. You're using slave labor, forcing natives to work for you.
You may not realize it, Commander, but you and the cadet are now slaves yourselves. I need replacements in the Endurium mines up in the glacier region. Which reminds me, Melongo, it's time to destroy the rebels at base camp number 2.
Shall I turn on the detonator machine now, Your Highness?
Yes. Commander, you will now see how completely I hold the power of life and death over my subjects. When I press this switch, more than 100 rebels will be blasted to death. Thousands of miles from this castle. What's close?
Hap, jump the guard.
Oh, get away from that machine, Baccarati! Commander, they're getting away.
Let him go. Right now we've got to smash this machine. Get the guard's plastic gun.
I've got it, sir.
Now let's get Baccarati.
There they are, sir. They just turned the corner.
Down the corridor, quick.
Baccarati, stop! Commander, they're climbing out a window.
After them, Happy. There's a ledge out there, Happy. Swan, we've got to go after them.
Yes, sir. Easy now, Happy. Wow, what a drop. There's a river down there. Press close to the wall. And work down the ledge.
They're blocked. They can't go any farther.
Baccarati, better give up.
Never take me, Corey. Commander, he's got a plastic gun.
So have we. And Baccarati can't fire without hitting Malengro.
That's right, Corey. Commander, look at Malengro. Baccarati shot him.
He's covered with plastic.
Smoke and rockets, Baccarati pushed him off the ledge. His own partner.
What's this, Commander?
Pointing the gun at himself.
Baccarati, don't be a fool! Get to him, Happy, before he falls off the ledge.
Too late, Commander. There he goes. Now he's down into the river. They fell just like statues. Well, I guess that's the end of Prince Baccarati.
Come on, Happy. Let's get off this ledge. Gotta work fast. If we dodge Baccarati's dogs, we can get back to our ship before dark.
Lieutenant Simmons is asleep in the aft compartment, sir.
Good. You could do with a little rest yourself, Happy.
Oh, I'm not tired, sir. Commander, you know I'm glad we got away from Planet X and saved those people in the glacier, but well, I'd feel a lot easier if I knew for sure about Baccarati. I mean, can we cross him off?
That's what we're going to find out on our next visit to Planet X.
An exciting preview of next week's Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. Hey, what's going on, young man? What do you mean, putt?
I'm playing like I'm driving a surface car on Mars.
Well, it sounds to me like you've got nothing but ordinary fuel in that tank of yours. You're just a putt. You know what your car needs? Super fuel. Here, I'll put some in. There now.
Gosh, my surface car is supercharged now. See you later.
Yes, sir, Space Patrollers. For supercharging, it takes super fuel. And that holds true for you, too. Ordinary fuel for breakfast, you're just a putt. Super fuel for breakfast, you're supercharged. That's why Buzz Corey has Rice Chex, the super cereal for breakfast. Rice Chex, crisp, golden shredded rice biscuits in that modern, bite-sized design. The cereal that brings you a mysterious magic space picture inside of every package. Try it today. Delicious, bite-sized Rice Chex, the super cereal that helps to supercharge you. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy have made another visit to the mysterious Planet X. They have just landed in a robot ship, hoping to thwart an attempt to obtain Space Patrol's secrets. As two men in work clothes approach the ship, Buzz and Happy wait with ray guns drawn.
Keep behind the bulkhead until we find out whether they're friendly or not.
Yes, sir.
Quiet now. I'll be out of here.
Use your gas gun, Malengro.
Commander, I can't see.
You fell right into my trap hole. This is your last trip to Planet X.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, The Trap on Planet X, when Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Ralston again present Space Patrol! Special bulletin for boys and girls in Cleveland, Ohio, and Syracuse, New York. Buzz Corey's own space battle cruiser, the Ralston Rocket, will be in your area next week. Don't miss it. The Ralston Rocket. Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Devery. Other players were Bela Kovach, Norman Jolly, Ken Mayer, and Stephen Robertson. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Ralston again present Space Patrol! Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your local newspaper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is... Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Ralston present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol. In today's transcribed adventure, Buzz and Happy have made another visit to the mysterious Planet X. They have just landed in a robot ship, hoping to thwart an attempt to obtain Space Patrol's secrets. As two men in work clothes approach the ship, Buzz and Happy wait with ray guns drawn.
Keep behind the bulkhead until we find out whether they're friendly or not.
Yes, sir.
Quiet now. They're at the outer hatch. Don't move, Happy.
Use your gas gun, Malengo.
Commander, I can't see.
Fell right into my trap, Corey. This is your last trip to Planet X.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Trap on Planet X. Hi, Space Patrollers. This is Captain Dick Tufeld speaking. Say, how's your space talk these days? Are you talking like a real space patroller? Well, here's some space talk that'll make your friends sit right up and listen. Fire rockets. Now, fire rockets means to turn on the motor or get ready to go, as in, come on, gang, fire rockets. It's time to go. And here's another way of saying something in space talk. Blast off. Blast off means to take off or leave. You blast off for a game of ball. Blast off to meet a pal. Now, here's space talk you hear space patrollers use every morning. Get supercharged. Now, to get supercharged means to get some zip and wham so you can be a winner. And, gang, here's how you do it. Just have yourself a power breakfast with the super cereals, Rice Chex, or Wheat Chex. Best tasting cereals from here to the moon. So, Space Patrollers, get supercharged. Fire rockets, blast off, and I mean to your grocers for Rice Chex and Wheat Chex. And remember, inside every package, you get a mysterious magic space picture. And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, The Trap on Planet X. Commander Corey is facing the greatest problem of his career. His archenemy, Prince Baccarati, has established an empire on Planet X, a strange world, far beyond the solar system, where no planets were thought to exist. Fortified by almost impregnable detection and defense systems built by the evil scientific genius Dr. Malengro, Baccarati planned to launch an attack against the United Planets. Buzz and Happy dealt the Prince a temporary setback, but the actual fate of Baccarati and Malengro still is in doubt. Buzz realizes the criminal leaders from the self-styled Prince assembled on Planet X may continue Baccarati's plans for enslavement and conquest. Now, in his central office on Terra, Buzz reviews his strategy with Cadet Happy.
At this stage of the game, Happy, Baccarati's forces hold the trump cards. The Space Patrol couldn't get within 1 million DUs of Planet X without being discovered.
Well, with Baccarati himself out of the way, sir, maybe his men will give up this idea of conquering the United Planets.
Trouble is, we don't know for certain whether Baccarati is out of the way. All we know is that he turned his plaster gun on Malengro and himself and plunged down into the river at the base of his castle.
I don't see how they could help being drowned, even if the fall didn't hurt them.
We don't know what effect that plaster gun has. It coats its victim with a shell of plastic. We saw that. But it makes the victim temporarily helpless. At the same time, it might protect him.
Yeah, that's right. Well, still, I'd hate to be in that fix. Floating down a river on Planet X, unable to swim. And remember those monsters we saw in the jungle. Well, there's no telling what's in that river.
Even leaving Baccarati out of it, a full-scale attack on Planet X wouldn't be a wise solution. Baccarati has abducted hundreds of innocent people from the United Planets. He's forcing them to work for him. That's the chief reason we can't risk an all-out attack.
Well, how are we going to save them?
That's problem number one. It's not a job for a space fleet. A few men infiltrating into Baccarati's stronghold is the only answer. Into the slave camps in the north, into the castle, into his plants.
That isn't going to be easy.
No. And once they're in, they'll be useless unless we can communicate with our forces on the outside.
Well, I'd like to take another crack at it, sir.
So would I. But it's something we can't rush into, Happy. One wrong move could cost the lives of innocent people. I want to have a talk with Lieutenant Simmons and then outline a plan of action.
Meanwhile, billions of miles away on Planet X, a strange creature stands on the bank of a river and peers intently at two figures stiffly floating downstream. The man on the riverbank is huge, nearly 7 feet tall, and his rugged frame is loosely draped with the skin of an animal. To this primitive native of Planet X, the figures in the water are objects of wonder.
Slowly, his lips move in response to the thought that forms in his not-too-active brain.
Sky men. Sky men.
The next instant, the native plunges into the water. Skymen, the men who arrived many seasons ago in great monsters, men with powerful weapons, men who built huts of stone that towered into the mists. But why were these two skymen floating down the river, so strangely stiff and still? The native swims toward them, then, one at a time, tows them to shallow water, and one under each powerful arm, he carries them up on the bank. The men seem coated with something shiny and hard and transparent. But as the native watches in surprise, the shiny covering cracks and falls away. The men move. The native steps back, half frightened, half curious. And one of the skymen speaks.
Well, are you all right?
Yes, Your Highness. But I don't like the looks of that native.
Don't worry. I got my plastic gun ready. I can turn him into a 7-foot statue if he starts anything. But don't show any fear. Remember, we are superior beings.
Are you sure there's enough plastic left in the gun to cover a man of that size?
Keep quiet. Let me do the talking. You there. What's your name?
I, Goro.
We're in luck, Malengo. For a minute I was afraid he was one of those wild ones that our men had been taught to speak English. Goro, I'm the chief of the Skymen, Prince Baccarati.
Goro, kneel before your prince. He is your chief.
Chief.
All right, Goro. You may rise.
Skymen live in air and in water?
We are all powerful, Goro. The Skymen can do anything.
Skymen all powerful.
Send him away, Your Highness. Let's get back up the river to the castle.
We may need him. We may run into some unfriendly natives, and Goro will confront him.
Yes, you're right, Your Highness.
Goro, you come with me. Your chief will give you fine clothes like these. You will eat the food of the Skymen. And Goro will become all-powerful like the Skymen.
Goro eat food of Skymen?
Of course. And everyone will say, there is Goro, honor guard of Prince Baccarati. Come, Goro. Lead the way to my castle.
I obey, Chief.
Come on, Malengo.
Your Highness, do you think Corey could get away from the castle?
I doubt it. When we get back, we'll put some pressure on the commander. He can tell us many things that will help further my plans for conquering the universe. The fools! The stupid fools!
What's the trouble, Your Highness?
Those guards, they let Corey and the cadet get away. What? Yes! They got back through the jungle to their ship and blasted off.
It means he'll be back with a fleet of ships.
Corey's too smart to try that. He knows we could destroy every ship he sends against us.
But if he thinks we were drowned when we jumped into the river, won't he assume your empire will fall apart?
Now, Corey doesn't jump to conclusions. He'll try something, that's certain. Now, if we could only force his hand. Get him back here. Alone. Oh, by the way, Malengo, how's Dr. Rainey coming along with that brain of rat?
I'll check right after we get back to the castle, Your Highness. He hasn't quite finished it yet.
Well, can't you hurry him up?
He's resisting our persuasive methods. He keeps falling unconscious from pain.
Stubborn fool. Once we get that brainograph working, we can take all these captured scientists and technicians and find out exactly what the Space Patrol has to use against us. Every fact these men know will be revealed by the brain.
We can break Dr. Rainey down, but it will take a little more time.
How I'd like to use that brainograph on Corey. Then we know every weapon, every plan the United Planets could bring against us.
Yes, Your Highness. But Corey isn't here. He's probably back on Terra.
Well, we'll bring him here. I've got just the plan. I'll need a special robot ship and your help, Malengo.
Back at Space Patrol headquarters on Terra, the Spaceophone monitoring section has picked up a strange message, repeated over and over. Within a few moments, the message is piped into Commander Corey's office as Buzz and Happy listen intently.
I warn you, the plan will be dangerous, but it is the only way to penetrate Prince Baccarati's defenses. This is the voice of Professor Ramey speaking from a continuous recording tape on board a Baccarati robot patrol ship. The message will be repeated in just a moment.
Smoking rockets, Baccarati captured Professor Rainey, too.
Outstanding brainograph expert.
Oh, gee, if Baccarati gets the brainograph...
At least I'm glad to hear the professor's alive. The report was that he crashed on Neptune.
That's the 9th top scientist Baccarati
Attention,
is...
Space Patrol
Hold
Unit.
it, Happy. The message is...
The United Planets are in danger. This is Professor Bernard Ramey of the Space Patrol Electronics Bureau. I am held captive by Prince Baccarati on a planet far beyond the solar system. No ship can approach this planet without being detected by Baccarati's defense system.
You can say that again.
Only Baccarati's own ships can penetrate the electronic shield. I have succeeded in hiding the recording device in this ship, which is of class G, type R134. A ship of this type could get through the electronic field if it emits a steady signal on a frequency of 231.6 megacycles. I warn you, the plan will be dangerous.
Cut it off, Happy.
But it is the only way...
So that's the key to the shield. A signal at 231.6 megacycles.
I wonder what happens if you're off the beam a few cycles.
The ship is destroyed, probably. Well, it looks as though Professor Ramey has given us the chance we were waiting for. Yes, Happy. Call Space Patrol Operations. Order a Class G, Type R134 robot spaceship with auxiliary controls. We're blasting off the planet. I've picked up a robot ship on the viewscope, Your Highness.
Is it one of ours?
It looks like it. But all of ours are accounted for.
Well, and then Corey fell for it. He thought that was Professor Ramey's voice.
The brainograph should be ready in a few hours, Your Highness.
Oh, Ramey finally cracked, eh?
No, but our engineers figure they'll be able to complete the brainograph now with no further help from the professor.
Excellent. Now, Malengo, we'll just wait patiently until Corey enters the house.
Well, I guess we've fooled Baccarati so far, Commander. At least he hasn't hurled any meteors at our robot.
Well, we're safe from meteors now, Happy. We're too close to the planet.
There's Baccarati's castle in the viewscope, Commander.
All right, Happy. Put on the special frequency.
Yes, sir.
Make sure it's exactly 231.6 megacycles.
Oh, I have it tuned in exactly, sir. That's it, sir.
In a few seconds, we'll know whether it gets us through the electronic shield.
It worked, sir.
Keep away from the viewports, Happy. We're coming in for a landing. Now we'll wait here in the ship till it gets dark. And we'll make an attempt to get inside the castle.
Suppose someone comes out to inspect the ship.
Yeah. 2 men are coming toward the ship now.
In work clothes.
Whether they're friendly or not, it's a break. We can borrow their clothes. Keep behind the bulkhead until they're well inside the ship. Have your ray gun ready.
Yes, Commander.
Quiet now, Hank.
Use your gas gun, Malengo, quickly. It's Baccarati.
Let him have it, Hank.
I can't see, can't either. Grab the cadet, Malengo.
It's not him, Your Highness.
I'll take that ray gun, Corey. You might as well stop struggling, Corey. That toxic gas made you as weak as a kitten.
Where is Professor Ramey?
Oh, don't try to talk, Commander. Unless you're wearing gas masks. Like Dr. Malengo and myself, you'll only suffer all the more from the toxic gas.
For your information, Commander, that wasn't Professor Ramey's voice you heard. It was mine. A good impersonation, don't you think?
That's right, Corey. The professor was busy completing a brainogram. And we are going to use it on you to find out all the Space Patrol secrets.
After you recover from the toxic gas, of course.
Yes, you can recuperate in the dungeon, Corey. And just wait till you see your guard. He's a nice little fellow named Goro. You'll be safe with Goro. Very safe.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. Say, gang, what kind of fuel are you filling up with at breakfast? Ordinary fuel? Well, I hope not. Because, remember, in the morning, you haven't had anything to eat for hours. That means your fuel tank needs super fuel, like Rice Chex and Wheat Chex, those super cereals. A good Chex breakfast, and boy, you're supercharged. You feel like a million, rugged as Buzz Corey himself. Your motor kicks over, your rockets start roaring, your atomolites start blinking, and man, that's it. You take off, and I mean you take off like nobody's business. And say, gang, with Chex, you've got a couple of cereals that taste terrific, and both have that modern bite-sized design for eating that's easy and fun. That's Chex for you. Easy eating, good eating. So remember, gang,
When you pull up to your breakfast table, it's just like pulling up to a filling station. You're there for fuel, super fuel. So tomorrow morning, say to your mom, fill her up, Mom, checks. Yes, get 'em today, gang. Checks, rice or wheat. And remember, inside of every package, you get a mysterious magic space picture. And now, back to our Space Patrol adventure, The Trap on Planet X. Simulating the voice of the captured scientist, Prince Baccarati's henchman, Dr. Malengro, has tricked Commander Corey and Cadet Happy into returning to Planet X. The space patrolmen passed safely through the deadly electronic shield over the castle by means of a secret frequency on their robot spaceship transmitter. But after landing, Buzz and Happy were captured by Baccarati and Malengro. Right now, they're locked in a cell in the castle dungeon with a huge native Goro standing guard outside.
Doesn't look very bright. I can't always tell by appearances. I wonder if he realizes that Baccarati is making slaves out of some of the other natives, his own people.
Good point. Let's see, what's his name? Goro, isn't it?
Yes,
Goro. Goro, I'd like to talk to you a minute.
What you want?
I'm your friend. I want to help you, Goro.
Skyman Chief, friend. You not friend.
Skyman Chief?
Baccarati. Goro, listen. This fellow you call Skyman Chief is Prince Baccarati. He's making slaves of your people. He makes them work underground in the mines. You understand?
Skyman Chief give Goro food. Chief friend, you bad. Goro no.
Goro, if you'll help us out of here, we'll see that you get better food than Baccarati ever gave you.
Skyman Chief, all powerful. You not powerful. How can you give food?
He's got a point. He's no fool, Happy. He just can't think any farther ahead than the next meal.
Speaking of food, I wish Baccarati would show us with some chow. Hey, I just remembered. I think it's here in my jacket pocket.
What?
Some space rations. Yeah, I've got a bar of ration G here. Baccarati missed it when he frisked me.
Take off a small piece of the paper.
Yes, sir. Here.
Here you are, Goro. Taste it.
That's not food. Goro man, not small bird.
Go on. Reach your hand to the bar. Just try it.
Goro, try.
Oh, look at the size of that hand. It'll barely go through the bars.
Good. Good.
Like it, Goro?
Goro want more.
Commander, look out. He's trying to grab you.
More food. More food.
Hold on, Goro. Take it easy. Open the door and let us out. You can have the whole bar.
More food.
You understand? Open the door.
More.
Goro, wait a minute. Be quiet.
He really goes for it, but he's so excited he's nearly out of his mind.
Doesn't know how to open the door, Happy. Not with the regular controls, anyway. Put the ration bar on the floor near the back of the cell, but where Goro can see it. Now come over here by the door.
More.
Goro, hold it. Listen to me.
More food.
Now, there's your food back there. We want you to have it. Just open the door. Pull on the bars. Bend the bars. Put your hands on them and pull. Harder, Goro. That's it.
Oh, he's bending them.
You're getting it, Goro.
There goes the door. And here comes Goro.
Come on, Hap, let's go.
Goro like. He's better than Skyman Chief. Oh, Skyman Goro.
Down this part, Happy for the stairs. I only find Baccarati before a guard finds him.
How many more flights is it to the tower, sir?
Take him to that door there, quickly.
Put your hand over his mouth, Happy. Yep. Now let's get him in here. I've got his gun, Happy.
The next woven,
Yes, sir.
Corey, how did you get out of that cell?
Never mind the landing. Where's Baccarati? Come on, where is he?
He's up in the tower.
Alone? Tell me the truth, Malengro.
He's with some engineers.
How about Professor Raymond? Where's he got him?
Down at the end of the hall, locked him in the balloon.
All right, get to him. Lead the way and don't try anything.
This is it.
Unlock the door. Shut the door, Happy, and keep Malengro covered.
Yes, sir.
Professor Rainey. Malengro, what have you done for him?
Baccarati was a little rough with him. He wrecked the brain again. Months of work ruined.
The professor's coming too, sir.
Professor?
Quick, Commander Malengro's getting away. Get him, Happy. Yes, sir. That takes care of him.
Good. The professor. Professor Rainey.
Won't do you any good, Baccarati. Commander Corey.
Yes.
Baccarati's been forcing me to fill the brain again. When I heard he tricked you into coming here, I left.
Yes, I know. Professor, we haven't much time. We've got to get out of here. Can you walk?
I think so.
Baccarati gave you quite a beating. Do you know of any places where they could get a ship?
Baccarati's spaceship factory. That's too far away. Besides, it has an electronic shield around it, too.
Well, at least once we get out of the castle.
Wait a minute. There's a robot testing field on the other side of the valley.
Does it have an electronic shield over it?
Not ordinarily. One can be set up if strange ships are sighted in the region of the planet. Ordinarily, it's kept open for tests.
Can you show us how to get out of the castle?
The gates have electronic locks. Only Baccarati's men have keys.
Malengro must have one. Search him, Happy. Yes, sir. Professor, how far is it across the valley to the testing field?
I don't know exactly. Around 5 miles, I think.
Do you feel strong enough to make it?
I think I can make it, Commander.
Then come on. We'll tie Malengro up and gag him so he can't come to inside.
What happened to you? Where's the professor? Oh, some minute. Hold still till I get the gag out of your mouth and untie you.
Corey did it. He caught me in the hall.
Corey! How do you think you're out of the dungeon? Never mind, where's Professor Rainey?
I don't know. The cadet knocked me out. When I came to, I was tied up. He'd escaped, Jordan.
I can see that. We'll have the castle searched from bow to the dungeon. We'll send guards outside the castle. You and I will lead the search from the air. Come on, man.
The test port is right up ahead, sir. You can see a ship through the trees.
Hold it, Happy. Don't let everyone see you. We're almost there, Professor.
Got to stop a moment.
That's all right. Take your breath. We may have to make a rush for a ship.
I don't see anyone at this side of the field, Commander. There's some men working on a ship about 300 yards down to the right there.
We can't afford to make a mistake now.
Commander, those aren't all robot patrol ships. Some of them are battle cruisers.
You're right, Happy.
These are what Baccarati is turning out at his factory several hundred miles from here. They must have been brought here for a test.
Oh, they're as big as our space patrol battle cruisers.
From their looks, they could make a good account of themselves.
They've all got the black falcon painted on them. Baccarati's insignia.
So they're here for a test, huh? All right, let's test one. Ready, Professor Rainey?
Yes, Commander.
Let's make a rush for the nearest one. Come on.
The velocity down, Malengo. Remember, this is a spaceship, and Corey is on foot.
I'm trying to cover as much ground as possible, Your Highness. If we circle the castle several times, we can pick them up in the ground scan.
Where could they have gone? They're not in the castle. No one saw them go through the gate.
Look, over there at the test.
I see it. It's one of my new battle cruisers taking off.
Why, Your Highness? They just arrived today from your plant to the north. Weren't your orders to leave test facility to be grounded until you inspect them tomorrow?
Huh? Yeah, that's right. Well, wait till we locate Corey. Then I'll find out who that upstart pilot is. Ah, look at my ship, Malengo. 2 complete squadrons lined up.
They are quite beautiful, Your Highness.
Yes. After months of planning, they're almost ready. Ready to make a surprise attack on the space patrol. When the test is successful tomorrow, I'll give the command to Taret Jupiter.
Look at that ship circling back over the field.
With the big Jupiter base out of the battle, I can conquer the outer planets. What's happening over there?
Explosion at the test port. One of your ships blew up on the ground.
My ship! Malengo, what's happening? That pilot, that crazy pilot, he's crazing my ship with a space cannon. Hurry! Malengo is Corey in that ship. Get him! After him! That's the command!
Your Highness, the scouts, they're unarmed.
My fleet will get my fleet destroyed. Call the tower. Bring the electronic shield. Call the tower. And the necklace. This for the gas.
Well, I think that does it, sir.
Everything in the test field, at any rate. That's what the infrared viewscope shows.
Take Baccarati months to build another.
Happy, keep at low altitude till we get to the opposite side of Planet X, then blast off into space. And that way we can dodge any of Baccarati's defense rays.
Yes, sir.
You've given Prince Baccarati a severe setback, Commander.
Yeah, and with one of his own ships.
A setback isn't enough, gentlemen. As long as Planet X is a menace to freedom-loving people anywhere in the universe, then Prince Baccarati can count on meeting me again.
A preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure follows in just a moment. Gang, this is Captain Dick Tufeld at an aqua jet boat race on Mars. My favorite's the Shooting Star. But hey, it doesn't have a chance. The driver is filling up the tank with ordinary fuel. You see what I mean? No zip, no zoom, no zing. Hey, but wait. Now the driver's putting in some super fuel. Wow, look at the Shooting Star go. It's bound to be a winner now because she's supercharged. Supercharged with super fuel. Now, you want to be a winner too, don't you, gang? Then remember, ordinary fuel, ordinary start. Super fuel, super start. So don't wait. Get supercharged. And I mean get supercharged the way Buzz Corey does. Eat a power breakfast with Rice Chex. Flavor, man, and bite size. Crisp, triple toasted shredded rice biscuits. That's Rice Chex. And inside every package, you get a mysterious magic space picture. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are trying to make their way through a strange valley filled with weird and poisonous plants. Suddenly, Happy trips and falls.
Commander, something's got my foot. It's the vines. They're drawing tight like ropes.
Winding around me, too.
I can't get them untangled.
Maybe we can cut them loose.
Yeah. Hey, it's grabbed my arm. I can't move. And the leaves have got suckers on them.
Hap, we've got to get loose. These vines are man-eaters.
Be sure to join us again next week for the thrilling story of Valley of Dread, when Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Wilson again present Space Patrol! Special bulletin for boys and girls in Cleveland, Ohio, and Rochester, New York. Buzz Corey's own space battle cruiser, the Ralston Rocket, will be in your area next week. Don't miss it. The Ralston Rocket. Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Devery. Other players were Bela Kovach, Ken Mayer, and Norman Jolly. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Wilson again present Space Patrol! Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol story on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network. Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Wilson present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy are trying to make their way through a strange valley filled with weird, poisonous plants. Suddenly, Happy trips and falls.
Commander, something's got my foot. It's the vines. They're drawing tight like rope.
They're winding around me, too.
I can't get them untangled.
Maybe we can cut them loose.
Yeah. It's grabbed my arm. I can't move. And the leaves have got suckers on them.
Hap, we've got to get loose. These vines are man-eaters.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, the Valley of Dread. Hi, Space Patrollers, you hear that? That's the Martian Mauler, the inter-universal boxing champ from Mars. He's practicing his Sunday punch. Superpower? Man, he's got it. Wow, that's the Terra State All-Star halfback, kicking that ball right over the goalpost of Terra City Stadium. Superpower? He's got it, too. So, gang, to pack a Sunday punch like the Mauler, to kick a ball for extra punch like a football star, it takes lots of training and practicing. But one thing for sure, they both had their bite-sized checks today. Now, how about you? Did you start off your day with a big bowl full of rice checks or wheat checks? Delicious? Mmm. Terrific tasting? You bet. Right down to the very last crisp bite. And no other cereal, flaked or puffed, gives you so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. Yes, sir, gang. You're right up there on the ball, ready for anything when you start off your day with rice checks or wheat checks. So for a super-powered punch like this, and a super-powered kick like this, start your day the bite-sized checks way. Rice checks, wheat checks. And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, the Valley of Dread. Far out, beyond the orbit of Pluto, a giant Space Patrol construction ship hovers in space. Scores of engineers and skilled workmen in spacesuits swarm over a nearby object that appears to be a meteor. As they work with grim haste, a Space Patrol officer inside the construction ship tensely watches a bank of viewscope screens focused in the direction of Planet X, remote planetary stronghold of the ruthless Prince Baccarati. At this moment, Commander Corey and Cadet Happy are aboard the Terra 5, rushing toward the construction ship.
I want to avoid any space-phone contact between us and the construction ship in case Baccarati's monitoring our frequencies. So let's go over each step of our procedure so there won't be any slip-ups.
Yes, sir. First, we approach the construction ship on the starboard side, and that's where the dummy meteor is.
Right.
At 3, Tomo light flashes from the construction ship. We leave the Terra 5 in our spacesuit, jetpack to the meteor, and board it. Exactly 15 minutes later, we stick on the rocket to the dummy meteor and head for Planet X.
Check. Now look at this chart of Planet X.
Yes, sir.
Here's our ultimate objective, this warning tower. And here, 200 miles to the south, is where we land.
Too bad we can't plunk the meteor down closer to the tower.
And there's a good reason for that. To get these aerial maps of the region around the tower, we had to send several fake meteors into that region. Baccarati might wonder why meteors had a preference for that particular section of the planet.
Yeah, but none of our meteors landed, sir. They were automatically blown up after they transmitted the viewscope pictures back to the construction ship.
Well, that's right, Happy. Remember this. That tower is going to relay our meteor image to Baccarati's castle on the other side of the planet. Now, what's Baccarati going to think if a meteor suddenly checks its speed and makes a gentle landing?
Oh, I see. Yeah, he'll know there's a spaceship inside the meteor shell.
Exactly. But by landing far away from the tower, we'll be below the horizon, and we can cut on our landing rockets in time to avoid a crash. But with that small amphib tank we'll be carrying in the fake meteor, it won't take us long to reach the tower and put it out of commission.
When we spacephone our ship, they zoom in and rescue those 130 men from Baccarati's work camp east of the tower.
It's our job to put that tower out of business. Otherwise, the rescue ships will be wiped out before they get near Planet X. All right, Happy. Get our spacesuits out of the locker, and we'll be alongside the construction ship in 3 minutes.
Meantime, in his huge, gaudy castle on Planet X, Prince Baccarati paces the floor and berates his chief advisor, Dr. Malengro, whose scientific knowledge is being used by the Prince in his attempts to conquer the United Planets.
Just look at these production figures, Malengro. We're 8 spaceships behind schedule. I ordered a speed up, didn't I?
Yes, Your Highness.
If we are going to attack the United Planets, we got to have ships. Isn't that right?
Absolutely, Your Highness.
Then why don't I get ships? Tell me that.
First, illustrious one, there's the shortage of material. We can't make endurium for the ships unless we have Arctite. And as you know, Arctite is very difficult to obtain here.
Excuses. I don't want excuses. I want results. Ships, weapons. I want to drive Commander Corey out of the universe.
If I may remind you, Your Highness, the responsibility for obtaining Arctite is in the hands of Captain Decker.
I'm aware of that. I sent for Decker. He should be here shortly.
But I thought he was supervising operations at the Arctic mines near the Valley of Dread.
I ordered him back to the castle. Yes? Oh, that's you, Jack.
I eagerly await your command, noble prince.
My ship factory is complaining of the shortage of arctite. That's your responsibility, Captain Jacker.
Yes, your highness, but I'm short-handed.
Short-handed? You got 130 men, all trained personnel, plus several hundred natives.
Only half of them are able to work. The climate in that part of the planet is very bad, your highness. Most of the men are down with fever. Suppose we took some other planets, that is. The natives are standing up fairly well with a little encouragement from a lash.
Well, then use the lash on the others. Keep driving them.
Yes, your highness. Oh, incidentally, I have an object here that might be of interest to you. One of the natives found it near the mining area.
A piece of rock? Why would I be interested in that?
Obviously, it's only a fragment of a meteor.
That's what I thought at first, till I turned it over. You'll notice that the opposite side is smooth and slightly curved.
It looks like metal. Processed metal.
Exactly. We've noticed a few meteors exploding high in the atmosphere recently. This one apparently was hollow.
Hollow meteor? That's impossible. This is obviously part of a constructed object.
A bomb, perhaps? The Space Patrol may be bombarding your planet, Your Highness.
Why would they bombard that region? I tell you what it is. This is a fragment of a robot spy. Corey's sending instruments into our atmosphere inside space meteors. He's mapping the planet, Captain Jacker. There must be more of these fragments out there.
Possibly, but they'd be very difficult to find.
Well, then send the natives out to search the entire area. Captain, I'm going back to the Arctic mines with you.
Very good, sir. My atmosphere ship is ready.
Lengo, you're in charge here while I'm gone. I'll keep in touch with you.
Very well, Your Highness.
Come on, Jacker. I'll show you how to get work out of those loafers of the mine.
Far out in space, an object that appears to be a meteor hurtles in free fall toward Planet X. But beneath the jagged surface of the object is a compact, specially designed spaceship. Cramped in the control compartment, Buzz and Happy watch the round planet loom ever larger. It seems to rush toward them at constantly increasing speed. The two space patrolmen wait tensely, watching the instrument panel as the needle creeps toward a red line on the dial.
A few more seconds, Happy.
Yes, sir. What's that red light that just flashed?
It means that the outer surface of the ship is being heated to incandescent.
Oh, constriction of the air. We're in the atmosphere of Planet X.
By the time we cut on our retarding rockets, we'll be making quite a flash in the sky. The acceleration will be terrific, Hap. We'll probably black out, but don't worry. The landing will be automatic. Stand by to fire rockets.
Standing by, sir.
10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, ready, fire rockets.
They're taking hold. Looks like we're going to make it.
You okay, Happy?
Or I will be when my stomach settles back down where it belongs.
Rough.
Well, I'd say it was a gentle landing for a meteor, but a rugged one for a spaceship.
I'll release the aft hatch so we can get the amphib tank in. All right. Let's go back aft and get into the tank.
On through the dark night of Planet X, Commander Corey and Cadet Happy take turns at the controls of the amphib tank, crossing the treacherous terrain of the unknown planet. The aerial maps, pieced together from viewscope pictures flashed by the pseudo-meteor robot spies, are of little help to the ground-crawling tank. Still, mile by mile, Buzz and Happy approach their objective, the tall warning tower that automatically relays viewscope images of trespassers in the sky over this part of Planet X. As the gray dawn grows over the Valley of Dread, an atmosphere ship flies low in ever-widening circles around the Arctic mines, where men abducted from the United Planets are forced to toil. In the ship are Prince Baccarati and his prison camp commandant, Captain Jecker.
That confounded mist. I can't see a thing down there.
I'll put on the infrared scanner, Your Highness. That better?
Yes, but I still can see through that vegetation. Can't you fly lower?
Scan more territory from this height. But actually, I doubt that you can see those men who escaped.
I want them found and brought back.
There were only 3 of them, Your Highness. They can't survive long in the Valley of Dread.
That's exactly why I want them found. We need every able-bodied man we can find. And if they are clever and strong enough to escape, they're strong enough to work in the mine.
Yes, Your Highness.
I'm holding you personally responsible for their escape. If another such incident occurs...
Excuse me, sir. But I saw something move over there on the ridge.
On the ridge? Why, that's miles from the camp. They couldn't get that far in a single night.
Your Highness. A large animal looking. No, it's a vehicle, a tank.
You're right. Someone has landed on the planet.
I don't see how that's possible. The warning system would have detected any spaceship.
You believe your own eyes, don't you? There is a tank down there. Isn't there?
Yes, Your Highness.
It's an invader, and it must be destroyed. Captain, are there bombs aboard the ship?
Yes, sir. 3 small cosmic torpedoes.
Then use them. Destroy that tank.
It isn't much farther, Commander. I can see the warning tower from here.
The first chance we get, work down into the valley. One of the low probe beams from that tower might pick up a moving object as large as this tank.
Yep. We'll have to keep on the ridge for another quarter of a mile, Commander. We'll drop 2 people along here for a safe descent.
That's right, Ham.
Hey, the ridge blew up right in front of us.
Keep going, but dodge that crater.
Yes, sir.
There's an atmosphere ship right over us.
One of Baccarati of all the rotten luck. Wow. That was close.
Hold it, Ham. Hold it on the ridge. You're slipping over the edge.
The dirt's giving way from under us, Commander. I can't control it. We're going over.
They'll never get out of that tank alive. Excellent, Captain, excellent. And if the crash doesn't finish them, we can count on some able assistance from whom, Your Highness? The creatures that inhabit the Valley of Dread.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. Gang, here's a report on America's ready-for-anything jet plane, the most heavily armed fighter interceptor in the U.S., the Air Force Scorpion F-89D, produced by Northrop Aircraft, Hawthorne, California. And in just one moment, you'll hear from Bob Love, test pilot on the Scorpion. Hear that? That's music to Bob Love. It's the roar of the Scorpion as he prepares to take it up. He snaps a salute from the cockpit. And now Bob is set once again to face the hazards of this tough and exacting job in the sky. The Scorpion takes to the air like magic. It's a giant ship, a monster bird of the sky, weighing 20 tons, with a length of 53 feet, a wingspan of 56. And what a fighter! Giant pods on the wingtips carry a terrific barrage of rocket firepower. Speed of the Scorpion, over 600 miles per hour. Gang, I wish you were here to see how Bob Love strides across the airfield after a grueling test flight. And just a short rest in the ready room, and he's all set to go up again. Now, for someone who depends on so much energy, it's no surprise to find that Bob Love is a rice checks and wheat checks man. Here's what he has to say about it.
You know, a fella has to be in top condition to test fly a fast aircraft such as the Scorpion. And that's why I always make it a rule to sleep well and eat well.
So, for breakfast, I pick a cereal like Rice Chex or Wheat Chex. They're chock full of energy and really taste good. You'll like them.
Gang, pick your cereals the way Bob Love and countless other rugged test pilots do. Pick a cereal loaded with energy, loaded with flavor. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex. No other cereal, puffed or flaked, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. And now, back to our Space Patrol adventure, the Valley of Dread. A system of warning towers on Planet X enables Prince Baccarati to detect the approach of spaceships. However, Commander Corey and Cadet Happy succeeded in landing on the planet without detection through a dangerous space flight in a ship designed to simulate a meteor. Boarding an amphib tank carried in the ship, they headed for the warning tower to destroy it. But Baccarati, in an atmosphere ship searching for escaped prisoners, saw the tank and ordered his assistant, Captain Jecker, to bomb it. A blast toppled the tank off a ridge and down a steep mountain into the Valley of Dread. Now, bruised and battered, Buzz and Happy are forcing their way out of the wrecked tank.
Any bones broken, Hap?
No, sir. How about you?
We're unable to move around. It was more than I can say for our tank. I guess we set our schedule back several hours, Hap. It's going to take us quite a while to reach that warning tower on foot.
Well, what's the shortest way? I sort of turned around after that spill down the mountain.
Across the valley. By the looks of it, it's going to be rough going.
Yeah.
Bring your Atomo light and a miniature spacerphone.
Yeah, I've got them in my belt, sir. Here's your ray gun, Commander. Yeah. Say, how about this shock rifle? The 10 kilovolt job. It's pretty heavy for a long pipe.
Oh. What were you saying, Hap?
I guess the shock rifle isn't so heavy after all.
Bring it. Let's get through this valley while it's still daylight, if we can.
Meantime, in Captain Checker's office of the Arctite mine, Prince Baccarati sits at the spaceophone talking to Dr. Malengro back at Baccarati's castle on the other side of Planet X.
I don't want any guesswork, Malengro. Are you sure there was a man on duty at the view scope every second?
I am positive, Your Highness. There have been no spaceships sighted anywhere near the plant. All the warning towers are working perfectly.
Then that tank Jecker and I destroyed must have come from one of the factories on the other side of the planet. Check immediately and see if a tank is missing.
Yes, Your Highness.
And order all the guards to watch for attempted breaks. We've lost 3 prisoners here at the mine.
Most regrettable, Your Highness.
Jecker just came in. I've got to talk to him. I'll contact you later, Malengo. Now, Captain, what is it?
Your Highness, my men have captured one of the prisoners.
One of the prisoners? There were 3.
The other 2 are still missing. But we'll get them, sir.
Yeah. And the man who was captured, is he back on the job?
He's unable to work. He's very sick.
He's paying you for fools. Take me to this man. I'll make him glad to go back to work.
Buzz and Happy make their way across the Valley of Dread, hacking their way through tangled vines, brushing against plants whose spore pods burst, filling the air with a choking, evil-smelling dust. But still they press on toward the tower that must be destroyed if Space Patrol ships are to land on Planet X.
I don't want to spend the night in this valley, so I'll have to put on some extra effort.
Suits me. Uh-oh. Is that a hallucination? Or is it an animal?
If we both see it, it's no hallucination. Stand perfectly still.
Where did it come from? What is it?
Whatever it is, it could swallow both of us in one mouthful.
Jaws like an alligator, and body like a tiger.
Get a shock rifle, Hap. I think it's going to charge.
Yes, sir. Here he comes. You hit him, sir.
Keep out of his way. I'll give another blast.
Wow. What a monster. And am I glad we brought that shock rifle.
Let's hope he doesn't have any relatives in the neighborhood. Let's get going, Happy.
Commander.
Yes, Hap.
How much farther do we have to go?
I think we're nearly out of the valley. I can get an occasional glimpse of the tower up on top of the peak. If we keep going, we can at least get to the base of the mountain before it really gets dark.
Yeah. Now, we can make it.
Hap, what's the matter?
Tripped over a vine.
Here, let me help you out.
If I could just rest for a minute, sir.
I know how you feel, Hap, but if we stop now, neither of us will have the energy to get going again.
Yes, sir. Hey, something's got my foot, sir. The vines. Hey, Commander, they're drawing tight, like ropes.
Winding around me, too.
I can't get them untangled.
Maybe we can cut them loose.
Yeah. Commander, grab my arm. The vine is winding around my arm.
Hap, these vines are man-eaters.
So the harder I pull, the tighter they get.
We've come through vines like this all afternoon. They never grabbed us. So dark now, I can't see to get you loose. Wait till I get my Atomo light.
Commander, They're winding around you, too. Watch out for those leaves. They've got suckers on them.
We've got to work fast. Now, let's see how that vine has got you trapped.
It's relaxing now, too. It's loosening its hold.
I can see now. The leaves are shriveling up in the light. The light. That's what's doing it.
Hey, my legs are free.
These plants are active at night. The light makes them dormant. See, they're letting go of me now when I turn the light on.
Smoking rockets, that's right.
Use your tunnel light, too, Hap. The beams will clear a path for us.
Hey, it works, sir. They're drawing back and going limp.
If we can keep up this pace, we'll be out of the valley in an hour.
Hours later, at the Archetype Mine headquarters, Prince Baccarati is aroused from sleep by the persistent warning signal from the spaceophone receiver. Stumbling to the transmitter, he irritably turns it on, scowling at the still sleeping Captain Jecker.
This is Dr. Malenko.
Yes, Malenko, I know. What is it?
The warning tower near the mine, it's dead.
Dead? What do you mean, dead?
Something must have gone wrong. It's not sending out any signals. No, all clear, nothing.
What? How about the other tower?
Everything's all right with the towers on this side of the planet?
All right, Malenko. I'll send a crew over to check the trouble. The escaped prisoners.
I beg your pardon, Your Highness?
Those men that got away, they made it to the tower. And there's a spaceophone there.
But, Your Highness, it's not powerful enough to reach any of the United Planets.
I know that, but perhaps they don't know it. They'll keep sending messages. Jecker and I can sneak up on them and grab them before they know what's happening. Jecker, wake up. Get to your ship. We're blasting off for the warning tower. I found your escaped prisoner.
At the base of the tall warning tower, Buzz and Happy look down at the morning mists that swirl across the Valley of Dread. Occasionally, they glance up at the sky, peering expectantly for the Space Patrol ships they hope will soon be landing on Planet X.
Shouldn't they be here by now, sir?
Very soon, Happy, if they heard our signal.
Maybe we ought to send it again, just in case.
No. By now, Baccarati must know that the tower's out of commission. He probably figures it's a mechanical failure. If he hears any strange signal, he'll know he can expect an attack.
Yeah, that's right. And our code signal was so brief that Prince's men couldn't have heard it unless they were waiting for it.
Yes, and remember, our men were waiting for it. Weak as it was strong enough to reach the construction ship and the patrol squadron.
Yeah. Commander, I hear a spaceship. They're coming.
It's not a spaceship, Happy. It's an atmosphere ship. It's coming toward the tower, not the mining camp.
Hey, that's right.
Probably a repair crew sent by Baccarati. Keep back out of sight. I just can't figure that out, Captain. Those prisoners made no attempt to contact the Space Patrol.
Well, maybe it was just a mechanical failure after all.
Perhaps. We'll be careful. The entrance to the tower is right around the corner. All right, Happy. Your Highness, watch out. Hold it, Baccarati. Get the other one, Hap. All right, stop struggling, Baccarati, or you'll have a mighty sore arm.
Stop it, Corey. I've got the other one, Commander. This isn't going to do you any good, Corey. You can't get off this planet without one of my ships, and my men can keep yours from landing.
Then they'd better get busy. Hear that, Baccarati?
Spaceship.
Right. A Space Patrol squadron. We're going to pick up those 130 men you've been holding prisoner out here.
My gourds will never let you take them. Your Space Patrol men can't attack without endangering the prisoners.
He's right, sir. It's a risk we had to take, Captain. We counted on the suddenness of the attack to overcome resistance.
I got 6 men guarding that camp. Your attack isn't going to accomplish a thing, Corey.
Just to make sure, Baccarati, call the camp and order your men to surrender. Use this miniature spaceophone. Tell them you're captured.
All right, Commander.
Go ahead, Baccarati. It's on.
Prince Baccarati calling Archetype Mine Headquarters. Prince Baccarati to Archetype Mine Headquarters. Come in quickly.
Mine Headquarters. Go ahead, Your Highness.
Listen carefully. This is important. I have been captured by Commander Corey. Tell the rest of the guards to destroy all the prisoners immediately.
Give me that spaceophone.
Those are my terms, Corey. My freedom or those captives will be destroyed. Guard, do you hear that?
Yeah, I hear it, but I'm not a guard.
Then who are you? Answer me. Who are you?
Ed Benton, one of your ex-prisoners. You overpowered all your guards and we heard the Space Patrol ships.
Benton, this is Commander Corey. Nice work.
Thanks, Commander. Same to you.
You'll have all your men on the way home in a few minutes. Corey out. All right, Baccarati, let's go. Take charge of this tower, Happy.
Yes, sir. Oh, you know, Baccarati, since you won't be needing your castle anymore, I've got an idea. Why don't you donate it as a home for wayward bats?
A preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. Say, Space Patrollers, listen to what happened the day Jimmy Brown skipped his power breakfast. Right away, things started looking mighty black. Everything in the universe went wrong. At school, at home, at play. And because Jimmy was so gloomy, Jimmy's dog felt gloomy, too. Yes, but listen now to what happened when Jimmy started his day with a big, bite-sized Chex breakfast. A bowl full of rice Chex. And to make up for the other day, a bowl of wheat Chex, too. Right away, things started looking bright. Yes, sir, Jimmy had a swell day at home, at school, at play. And listen to Jimmy's dog. He's no gloom dog now. So, you see, Space Patrollers, the way you start off in the morning can set the pace for the rest of your day. That's why it's so important to get a good power breakfast. That means a bowl full of those checkerboard super cereals, rice Chex, or wheat Chex. Delicious? You bet. Crisp down to the very last bite. And no other cereal, flaked or puffed, gives you so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. So, tomorrow and every morning, start off chock full of energy and ready for anything. Power up with the Space Patrol cereals, rice Chex, or wheat Chex. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are bound securely in a robot ship headed toward Terra and controlled by Prince Baccarati from his castle on Planet X.
I can't move, sir. Even without that paralyzer ray, the straps would hold it. Keep struggling, Happy.
Pluto Defense Squadron 12, Space Patrol, to Private Cruiser PC-307, Neptune Registry, acknowledge.
That's us. He's calling this ship?
We have information that Prince Baccarati is aboard. Surrender immediately.
I can only get loose and reach that spacer phone.
Major Ryan to Baccarati. Acknowledge or we'll fire.
If we can only let him know that we're aboard. Keep fighting, Hap. Hey, they're firing at us.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, Escape from Planet X, when wheat Chex, rice Chex, and good hot Ralston again present Space Patrol. Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey, and Glenn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Devery. Other players were Ken Mayer, Bela Kovach, and Norman Jolly. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when wheat Chex, rice Chex, and good hot Ralston again present Space Patrol! And be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol story on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network. Wheat Chex, rice Chex, and good hot Ralston present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy are bound securely in a robot ship headed toward Terra and controlled by Prince Baccarati from his castle on Planet X.
I can't move, sir. Even without that paralyzer ray, the straps would hold us. Keep struggling, Happy.
Pluto Defense Squadron 12, Space Patrol, a private cruiser, NPC-307, Neptune Registry. Acknowledge.
He's calling this ship?
We have information that Prince Baccarati is aboard. Surrender immediately.
I can only get loose and reach that spacer phone.
Major Robertson to Baccarati. Acknowledge or we'll fire.
Oh, if we could only let him know that we're aboard. Keep fighting, Hap. Hey, they're firing at us.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, Escape from Planet X. All right, step right up, test your strength, test your swing, ring the bell, and win a prize. Hi, gang, this is Captain Dick Tufeld.
And Space Patroller Bill O'Connell.
We're having a whale of a time today at the Terra State Fair. My pal here says he's going to ring that bell and win the prize.
You bet I am, Captain Tufeld.
All right, there he goes. He's raising the mallet over his head. Up it goes. Down it comes.
Man, oh man, oh man, just listen to that bell ring. What power and strength. Hey, Space Patroller, how'd you get all that get up and go?
Supercharged, that's me. I had my bite-sized checks today.
Now, Space Patrollers, how about you? Did you start off this morning with a big bowl full of rice checks or wheat checks? Those super cereals that help to supercharge you? Bite-sized wheat checks. Rich, hearty shredded wheat. Chock full of flavor, minerals, and energy vitamins. Yes, and no other cereal, flaked or popped, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. That's why Commander Corey made rice checks and wheat checks official cereals of the Space Patrol. So, gang, tomorrow morning and every morning, be a real Space Patroller. Power up with an energy-packed bowl full of rice checks and wheat checks. And now, today's Space Patrol adventure escapes from Planet X. The power-mad Prince Baccarati is now in the hands of Commander Corey. The man who sought to overthrow the United Planet is a captive on the remote Planet X, in the very prison camp where he had forced 130 abducted men into slave labor in the Arctite mines. As Cadet Happy assists Space Patrol officers preparing to evacuate Baccarati's former captives to their home planet, Commander Corey questions the self-styled prince in the labor camp office shack.
You might as well tell the truth, Baccarati. How many United Planet citizens are you holding in other parts of Planet X?
Surely, Commander. You know how many men and women are missing from the solar system?
Yes, but I want to know how many are on this planet right now. I want them all released.
Look, Corey, you have only 2 spaceships here. In less than an hour, Malengro will have alerted a squadron of my ships at the castle. They can easily prevent you from blasting off.
Your men aren't going to risk destroying you. And Malengro knows that you're in custody.
Remember, my forces are still in control at Planet X. You and your men will never leave here unless you release me.
The only thing delaying our blast off is a last-minute search for those 2 men who escaped from your prison camp just before our ships arrived. The minute they're rescued, I'm giving the order to blast off, and you're coming with us.
And they won't be found so easily, sir. A lot could happen to them in the Valley of Dread.
Whether we find them dead or alive, they'll still be witnesses against you.
Excuse me, Commander.
Yes, Hop, what is it?
Those 2 men who escaped have been found, sir.
Are they all right?
It's pretty fair, sir. They recognized our Space Patrol ships and came back to camp under their own power.
Good. And that accounts for all of Baccarati's captives, all 130 of them.
Yes, sir, except that the last tally shows 131.
Oh, that's one more than we're supposed to have.
Space Sergeant Deckins is sure the count is correct, sir.
Well, I'll check on it later. How's the evacuation proceeding?
Well, very good, sir. Most of the sick men are aboard ship number 1, and Baccarati's guards are locked up in number 2.
I'll order a complete search of the camp to see that none of Baccarati's men are hiding. And we'll put Baccarati aboard and blast off for Terra. Meanwhile, we'll just lock His Highness in this room so he won't be disturbed.
Both ships are loaded, Commander.
Oh, fine, Happy. We can blast off as soon as we put Baccarati aboard.
I'll sure be glad to get off this planet. It's ugly enough ordinarily, but look at those clouds.
Storm is moving in from the east. Well, we'll be gone in 5 minutes. When we get Baccarati on Terra, we can give him a brainograph test. We might find a weak point in his defenses at the castle. And at the same time, how many prisoners he has in Planet X.
Well, a couple of the older men don't agree with that last tally, sir. They said they privately kept tab on their fellow prisoners, and, well, there were just 130.
Sergeant Deckins is very reliable. If he counted 131, there must be 100. Happy, come on, hurry.
Oh, what is it, sir?
Get to the office building quickly. It just occurred to me where that extra man came from.
Commander, look.
I was afraid of that. The door's been forced open.
Open rocket, Baccarati's gone. Now, how did he get out of that room?
Look at the lock. It was smashed from this side.
Yeah, but who
That
could have...
extra man. One of Baccarati's guards managed to slip in with the evacuees.
He must be somewhere in the camp. If we hurry, we can catch him.
Into the yard, quickly.
There's Baccarati's atmosphere ship. Maybe they headed for that.
I don't think so. He knows it's the first place we'd look. We'll never be able to blast off with our ships here.
Then they must be outside the camp, heading toward the mountains. With a dozen men from our ships, we could overtake them.
Well, the important thing right now is to get these ships off Planet X before Baccarati's outlaws show up.
I hate to let him go when we finally had our hands on him.
I know how you feel, Happy, but the ships are in real danger now. Chances are Baccarati had the foresight to grab a miniature spacer plane when he got loose. He can tip off Malengro that he's no longer a prisoner.
Yeah, and the whole squadron can tear after our ships without worrying about hurting Baccarati.
I'm giving the order for our ship to blast off immediately. You and I will stay here in Planet X and search for Baccarati.
A few moments later, two men scramble through the thick brush on the steep side of a mountain near the prison camp. One of the men is in the ragged, faded red uniform of the prison workers. The other is Prince Baccarati, his gaudy tunic torn by the brambles.
All right, Orca. Let's stop.
Suits me. I'm winded.
We'll rest a minute while I contact Malengo. Then we'll move on. Send me that linear to his place.
Yes, Your Highness.
Oh, by the way, that was very clever of you, Orca, mingling with the prisoners in the hospital check. You will be rewarded when we return to the castle.
Thank you, Your Highness. What's that?
That was one of Corey's ship blasting off. I suppose he decided not to risk losing both ships by keeping them here while he looked for me.
Yeah. There goes another one.
I might have known it.
Know what?
That Corey would think of the safety of his man. Yes, and perhaps of his own safety, too. He knows he couldn't fight off my ship, so he blasted off.
Yes, but he'll be back.
We'll be ready for him when he returns. We'll have that warning tower back in operation, and if a space patrol ship comes within 1 million deals of this planet, we'll blast it to atoms.
Hey, Highness, how are your men going to find us in this storm?
Before we run, we can go back to the prison camp. The atmosphere ship is there.
Yes, but Corey probably put it out of commission before he blasted off.
Probably. But at least we'll be out of this storm. Come on, old top. Let's head down the mountain.
As the storm builds in violence, Buzz and Happy stand in the darkened office shack, looking out the window toward Baccarati's small, sleek atmosphere ship. An occasional flash of lightning brings every inch of the prison yard into full brilliance.
The ship's got away all right.
Well, they must have, Happy. There's no way Malengo could have detected them on this side of the planet. All right, let's go. Run for the ship.
Yes, sir. Wow, what a blast.
It's a regular hurricane. Keep your head down. Buck the wind. Up the ladder into the ship.
Close it, Happy. There's a light switch. Oh, I got it. Anyway, for a minute there, I thought the wind was going to blow me clear out of the stockade. Planet X. Even the weather's terrible.
Yeah, it's a break for us. We can circle over this whole area without being seen or heard. And when Baccarati signals to his ship, we'll know where he is.
Well, can we fight off a whole fleet of Baccarati's ships in this little atmosphere job?
We won't have to, Hank. Chances are only one of the ships will land to pick up Baccarati. They won't be expecting any company.
Yeah, and the fact that this is Baccarati's own ship is going to throw them off guard when they do see it.
We're going to have to work fast and hope that our luck goes out. All right, Hank, let's get this ship airborne.
Yes, sir. Stay right where you are, gentlemen. I got a flux gun on you. Get your hands up, Corey. Orca, take their weapons.
Yes, Your Highness. Oh, Baccarati and the missing guard.
Get the guard hat. Corey! I warned you! I got Corey, Orca. Break away from the cadet. Sure. Oh.
That sure sent him spinning, Your Highness.
Drag them back aft and lug them out. I'll notify Malengo to prepare a cell for them in the dungeon of my castle.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. This is Dick Shufeld speaking from Edwards Air Force Base, Muroc, California. I've got an interesting story for you this morning about one of the most unusual-looking planes in the sky today, the XS-92A, designed by Convair Aircraft, San Diego. Now, in just a second, I'm going to introduce you to the Air Force test pilot on that plane, Major Chuck Yeager, the first man to fly faster than the speed of sound. He's standing beside me right now. But first, I'd like to tell you a few things about the XS-92A. It looks exactly like a triangle. It's often called the flying triangle. Wings are swept back at a severe angle, 60 degrees. Now, top speed of this Air Force interceptor is about 700 miles an hour. Surface ceiling is over 45,000 feet. You know, it takes some doing to test fly a ship like that. You need energy and plenty of it. And to face the risk involved, you need steady nerves. Now let's hear what a real test pilot has to say about it. Meet Chuck Yeager.
Let me tell you what it takes to be a test pilot. To start with, I have to be in good condition. That means get plenty of rest, plenty of exercise, good food at every meal. For breakfast, I like a cereal that really tastes good and has plenty of energy.
You like Rice Chex and Wheat Chex, eh, Chuck? Well, no other cereal, puffed or flaked, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. So, gang, do as famous test pilots do. Pick your cereal for flavor and energy. Today, get Rice Chex and Wheat Chex. And now back to Escape from Planet X. Believing that Prince Baccarati was hiding in the mountains near his slave labor camp, Commander Corey and Cadet Happy boarded Baccarati's atmosphere ship. Buzz had counted on the violent storm raging in this part of Planet X to conceal the ship and enable them to recapture the crafty prince. But Baccarati and his guard had returned to the camp, thinking Buzz had left with the evacuees and the space patrol ships. Just as Buzz and Happy were about to blast off, Baccarati and his guard stepped out and overpowered the two space patrolmen with a flux gun. Right now, Buzz and Happy are in a cell in the dungeon of Baccarati's castle on the opposite side of Planet X. The prince punched them through the bars.
Ah, the great Commander Corey. Oh, I hate to tear myself away.
Don't let us detain you, Baccarati.
Oh, you're very kind. Perhaps you'd like to know where I am going. I am going to Terra. I'll go in ordinary clothes as a businessman from Neptune. I'll arrive in a private cruiser with a Neptune registry.
Aren't you afraid your noble bearing will give you away?
Not at all, Commander. The Space Patrol is certain that I'm here on Planet X, trying to avoid being captured by you. They will be making plans to sneak back here and get you off the planet. The last thing they would suspect is that Prince Baccarati would dare to show up in the capital of the United Planets.
Well, you may have a point.
Yes. And I have agents on time. And on the other side, all the time they're working on my plans to overthrow the government, preparing the way for my return to the solar system as a supreme ruler.
Oh?
You didn't know that, did you, about my agent?
I suspected it.
I think this is the time to confer with them and to make arrangements for certain materials and supplies to be brought here to Planet X. I see that you figure out the captured district.
What makes you so sure you won't?
Because you are here in my castle as a hostage. In case I am caught, your safety will be the terms of my release. Well, goodbye, Commander. Agents, I tell you.
And the Space Patrol hasn't the faintest idea who they are.
Oh, can Baccarati get away with it? Go to Terra?
Bold enough. Unexpected.
And here we are, locked up in this dungeon.
Yeah. Something shiny out there in the corridor. See it through the bar?
Oh, this one. Oh, it's like a key.
Thought I heard him try to point this and Baccarati walked away.
But if we could reach that key.
Then no one's watching us.
Just gotta reach. God, it might as well be back on Baccarati's belt.
Wait a minute. Take off your belt, quickly.
Yes, sir.
Put the buckle out there toward the key. Maybe you could hook it and drag it over to the door.
All right, sir. Here it goes.
Be careful. Don't knock it further away.
Over the key, sir.
Pull it slow.
It's coming. Yeah. Now I can get it with my hand. Here you are, sir.
Well, let's hope it's the right key. If I can reach around to the lock. It's hard to turn. You can't get any leverage. That did it.
We're free.
We're still in the castle. Our best bet is to try to locate a space patrol and tip off the space patrol that Baccarati's on his way. Come on.
Cautiously, Buzz and Happy make their way down the dungeon corridor. Two guards, joking together at a turn in the passage, fail to notice the two space patrolmen as they creep up the stairs to the next level. Carefully, Buzz tries door after door. Then, finally, he finds what he's searching for, a storeroom full of electronics equipment. Swiftly, with Happy's aid, the commander adjusts the dials of a spaceophone to the secret Space Patrol frequency and turns on the transmitter.
This set reaches as far as the space station outside the Pluto orbit we're in luck. Emergency. Commander Corey on Planet X, calling all Space Patrol units. Corey to all Space Patrol units. Emergency.
Space Station 3, Pluto orbit, Commander Corey. Your signal's very weak, Commander.
Now listen carefully. I can't repeat this message. Prince Baccarati is preparing to fly to Terra in a private space cruiser of Neptune Registry. He will pose as a legitimate businessman. Alert all units to intercept him outside the perimeter of his Planet X defenses. Take him alive if possible. Hurry up.
You shouldn't have any trouble picking up Baccarati.
No, there won't be any other ships coming from the direction of Planet X. Now, half our next problem is to get back to our cell without being seen.
Back to the cell?
Yes. Baccarati mustn't know that we've had a chance to tip off the space patrol. Easy now, you're going to fire. We carefully retrace those steps,
and at last reach the dungeon level under the castle. A moment later, they're in the cell with the door locked.
We'll hide the key somewhere in the cell in case we need to use it again. Yes, sir. Later, just in time, somebody's coming. We're looking for his car.
I got good news for you, gentlemen.
I know. You got a toothache.
That was unkind, Cadet. You should be grateful to me. Come on, you're leaving Planet X.
We are? Where are you taking us?
I am putting you in a robot ship and sending you toward Terra.
Well, at last you're showing some sense, Baccarati.
Yes, I know. Oh, incidentally, you can keep that key you found on the floor. As you see, I have a duplicate. Key? Yeah. The key with which you unlocked your cell. By the way, I overheard your conversation on the space patrol. You found the equipment sooner than I expected.
So you planted the key there, dropped it on purpose.
That's right. Just far enough out of reach to look accidental, but near enough so that you would use your famous ingenuity and recover it.
I don't get it. So why would you want us to tip off the Space Patrol about your trip to Terra?
Because Baccarati had no intention of going to Terra.
That's right, Commander. It's too bad you didn't figure that out sooner. When the Space Patrol challenges a certain private cruiser with Neptune registry and receives no answer, they will start firing on it. You will be helpless, unable to call up your men. And in their eagerness to get Prince Baccarati, the Space Patrol will destroy their own commander-in-chief.
A few moments later, Buzz and Happy are strapped securely in the control cabin of the robot space cruiser. As an added precaution, Prince Baccarati gives them each a blast with a paralyzer ray, then returns to the tower of his castle to regulate the remote control equipment of the robot ship.
Commander, can you talk?
I can't move. Even without that paralyzer ray, these straps would hold us.
I'm sure isn't taking any chances.
Here we go. Blasting the ship off by remote control from the castle.
Are you comfortable, gentlemen? Oh, don't bother to answer because I can't hear you. It's fortunate. I don't think your remarks would be complimentary.
He's right, Mr. Rat.
I'll give you something to think about, Commander, on your final journey. Shortly after your space patrol men blast to the pit, there will be another tragedy in another part of space.
What are you talking about, Frank?
The space patrol base on planet Neptune will be destroyed by another robot ship, loaded with high explosives.
He wouldn't do that.
The robot will appear to be an innocent supply ship, with you out of place, Commander. And the Neptune base destroyed, I'll have taken the first major step in my plan to rule the solar system. Goodbye, Commander. On we on.
Commander, you can't be serious.
I'm afraid he is.
Yeah, but what good would it do him to wipe out the Neptune base?
Baccarati's no ordinary criminal, Hap. Remember, Neptune is Baccarati's home planet, the one his family ruled for centuries.
Yeah, until the people booted them out and joined the United Planet.
In Baccarati's warped mind, Neptune is his personal property. Destroying our space patrol installation there would delight his ego.
Yeah, but it would make everybody in the United Planet so mad they'd insist on wiping out Baccarati's Planet X.
With his defenses, that's impossible at present. You have the people of 10 planets full of helpless fear and panic. That's Baccarati's greatest weapon. fear would force millions of people to surrender to save their lives and their homes.
There's nothing we can do about it. Can't even move. Where are we now, Commander?
I can't tell from here, but we should be well outside the Planet X defense and warning system.
I think the paralyzer rays are beginning to wear off. I can move my fingers a little.
We'll have to do better than that, Hap.
Lunar Defense Squadron, Bell Space Patrol to Private Cruiser NPC-307, Neptune Registry, acknowledged.
Who's calling this ship?
Major Robertson, commanding Squadron 12. We have information that Prince Baccarati is aboard Private Cruiser NPC-307, now on Paravector from Planet X.
If I could only get to that space-phone. Keep working, Hap.
Major Robertson to Baccarati. Acknowledge or we'll fire.
Any luck, Hap? Oh, no. You've got to get loose. Hey, he's firing at us.
We placed that missile across your nose to show we mean business, Baccarati. We know you're aboard because Commander Corey told us. You have 10 seconds to surrender or the next missile will hit your midship.
I wish Major Robertson wouldn't be so conscientious. Just this once.
If he hits us, we may never know he got us instead of Baccarati. Keep grinning on those straps, Happy.
Yes, sir.
5 seconds, Baccarati.
5 seconds. Commander, you did it.
No, Baccarati didn't cut off his transmitter. Major Robertson, hold your fire.
You surrendering, Baccarati?
Robbie, this is Commander Corey. Baccarati's not aboard. He's on Planet X.
Matt? Great balls, Mercurian. I was about... Attention, all units. Stand by for further orders.
Robbie, we've got to work fast. Order one of your ships to join airlocks with this robot.
Yes, sir.
After Happy and I are clear of this ship, destroy it. I want Baccarati to think his plan succeeded.
Right, sir.
When this ship is destroyed, return to your base. I'll take over the rest of your ship and proceed to the Neptune orbit. Hurry out.
Meantime, back in the tower of his castle on Planet X, Prince Baccarati turns to the guard, Orcut, and smirks with satisfaction.
Did you see that, Orcut? Did you see what happened to those instruments?
I don't know much about this kind of thing, Your Highness. There's remote controls and viewscope screen.
The instruments rattled and returned to zero. That means the robot ship is destroyed. And with it, Commander Corey.
And the Space Patrol got it.
Yes, just as I planned. Now, let's see if this controls the other robot.
The one we're going to blow up the Neptune base with.
Exactly. Watch the tiny dot on the screen. That's the ship approaching Neptune. In a few minutes, the Neptune base will be tight.
I picked up something in the viewscope screen, sir.
A supply ship?
I think so, sir. Yeah, that's what it is, all right.
Check its course.
Yes, sir.
Got to be sure it's the right one.
It's heading straight to the Neptune base, sir.
In what direction?
He's tracing it back. It came from 34 degrees off Pluto, which would indicate it came from Planet X.
And all regular ships in order to avoid this sector. Well, that's the one we're after.
It's on a collision course, sir, and it's seeking acceleration.
Stand by to fire cosmic missiles.
Standing by, sir.
Put on automatic target selector.
It's closing in on zero, sir. Number 1 missile fired, sir. Now, if Baccarati doesn't have any trick device to throw off our guided missile...
We'll know in a couple of seconds.
Wow, we got it!
Think what would have happened if that robot had hit Neptune.
The base would have been wiped clear off the planet. As it is, I'll bet it'll rain fragments for a week.
Fortunately, none of them will be big enough to do any damage.
Boy, this is going to be a big disappointment to Prince Baccarati.
Yes. And just the way to get his mind off this setback.
How, sir?
We'll give him something new to worry about. Right away.
A preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. Hi, Space Patrollers, it's football time on the planet Terra. The Terra High Terrors versus the Jumpin' Jupiters. And today the Terrors are really running up the yardage. There they go, over the goal line again. Another touchdown for the Terrors. Yes, sir, they're supercharged all the way. They had their bite-sized checks today. Now, gang, how about you? If you want to be able to block and tackle and kick like a football hero, you have to get on the ball and stay on the ball every day. That means you need a power-packed, bite-sized Chex breakfast every morning. A big bowl full of rich, crisp, terrific-tasting rice Chex or wheat Chex.
those super cereals that help to supercharge you. Both have that modern bite-sized design for super easy eating, and both make swell between meal snacks because both taste just as good right out of the box. So, Space Patrollers, to run up lots of yardage on the gridiron, to be the big star of your team, start right in tomorrow. Just have yourself a power breakfast with Rice Chex or Wheat Chex. No other cereal, flaked or puffed, gives you so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. So, power up with those Space Patrol cereals, Rice Chex, Wheat Chex. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are at the Saturn City spaceport, following a man they believe to be a cousin of Prince Baccarati.
Vincent, all right, sir. In the back, he looks just like Baccarati.
Keep in the shadow of the freight loading platform, Happy. Come on, let's close in. Just a minute, Benson.
Yes?
Step over here into the light.
Anything to oblige, Corey.
Commander, it's Prince Baccarati.
Get him, Happy.
All right, Malenko, use your ray gun.
Look out, Hap! Look out, Commander!
That does it, Malenko. Get them aboard the ship, and we'll give them a one-way trip to Planet X.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, The Spies from Planet X, when Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Wilson again present Space Patrol! Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey, and Glenn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Devery. Other players were Bela Kovacs, Norman Jolly, Ken Mayer, and Stephen Robertson. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Wilson again present Space Patrol! And be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network. Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Wilson present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol. In today's transcribed adventure, Buzz and Happy are at the Saturn City spaceport, following a man they believe to be a cousin of Prince Baccarati.
It's Vincent, all right, sir. In the back, he looks just like Baccarati.
All right, Hap. Let's close in. Just a minute, Benson.
Yes?
I thought you promised to stay on Saturn.
Oh, did I, Corey?
Commander, it's Prince Baccarati.
Get him, Hap.
All right, Malenko, use your ray gun. That does it, Malenko. Get them aboard the ship. We'll give them a one-way trip to Planet X.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Spies from Planet X. Say, gang, have you met the twin Space Patrollers who've just moved in down the block a ways? A couple of real swell fellas and supercharged all the way. Well, now's your chance to meet them. Here they are.
Hi, Captain Tuso. I'm Space Patroller Tom Smith. And I'm Space Patroller Danny Smith.
Man, oh man, am I seeing double? You look alike and you talk alike.
And we eat alike. We had our bite-sized checks today. How about you?
Did I have my bite-sized checks today? Did I have a big bowl full of Rice Chex or Wheat Chex? The best-tasting cereals from here to the outer orbit of Pluto? Well, you bet I did. I'm supercharged just like both of you. Now, Space Patroller, did you power up with that bite-sized Chex nourishment this morning? You know, no other cereal, flaked or puffed, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. That's why Rice Chex and Wheat Chex are official cereals of every Space Patroller in the universe. So, gang, take a tip from these supercharged twins, and every day before you blast off for school or play, have yourself a power breakfast with
bite-sized Rice Chex. Bite-sized Wheat Chex.
And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, The Spies from Planet X.
In recent weeks, Buzz has successfully thwarted attempts by Prince Baccarati to sabotage United Planets' defenses. Space Patrol intelligence has been convinced that Prince Baccarati, former ruler of Neptune, was holed up in his fabulous castle on the remote Planet X, recouping his strength. But a Space Patrol agent has reportedly seen Baccarati in Saturn City. In response to this report, Commander Corey and Cadet Happy are speeding toward the planet Saturn.
Commander, if that really is Baccarati, he sure got a lot of nerve.
All we know is that this man reported to be Baccarati has been dealing with the Zakra Importing Company at Saturn City.
Zakra Importing?
It's a small outfit, practically a one-man operation. Run by Emil Zakra. Seems to specialize in knickknacks and curios from the different planets.
Well, do you think knickknacks would make Baccarati come all the way from Planet X and risk getting caught?
I can tell you more about that, Happy, when we talk to Mr. Zakra.
A few hours later, Buzz and Happy walk down a small side street in Saturn City. Most of the shops are closed for the day, except one shabby little store in which a dim green light casts a weird glow over shelves of dusty vases, statues, and carvings. A replica of an outmoded spaceship hangs above the door. On it, in luminous letters, are the words, Zakra Importing Company.
Here we are, Happy.
I don't see anyone inside. Maybe they're closed.
Try the door.
It's open.
Somebody must be here. Let's go in.
Oh, look at the dust. I wouldn't say business was exactly booming.
Anybody here? Let's try the back room.
Uh-oh. Commander, look. The man on the floor behind the counter.
He's still breathing. He'll be all right. Somebody struck him with a blunt knife.
Is it Zakra?
I don't know. Somebody's coming. Look behind this curtain.
It's Baccarati.
Hold it, Baccarati.
Huh?
You came back to finish the job, I suppose.
Job? What you're talking about?
His voice, sir. His voice is different.
But it looks like Baccarati. What's your name?
Right. Baccarat?
Huh?
I'm surprised to hear that name after all these years. Most people know me as Vance and Thomas Vance.
Are you related to Prince Baccarati?
My cousin. An unfortunate family resemblance.
I see. Well, take a look behind that counter and see if that man resembles anyone you know.
Hey, Doctor, what happened?
You thought perhaps you could tell us.
Why would I?
What are you doing here, Mr. Benson?
I was to see Doctor on business.
Were you expecting your cousin?
No, I should say not.
All right, Benson. We're going to get Mr. Zakra to a doctor, and we'll have a little talk at Space Patrol headquarters.
While Cadet Happy scans the files for information on Thomas Benson, Commander Corey at Saturn City headquarters questions the man who bears such a striking physical resemblance to the evil Prince Baccarati.
And you know absolutely nothing of your cousin's whereabouts.
Nothing, Commander. We haven't had any contact since he was forced to leave Neptune. We were never very friendly, even with boys.
And your home is on Neptune. You're just visiting Saturn.
Yes, a business trip. He's been here about a week.
I've completed the check, Commander.
Thanks, Happy. Well, that'll be all, Mr. Benson, for the time being. Well, you plan to be in Saturn City for a while?
Yes. Yes, I do, Commander. I'm at the Alcor Hotel.
Good. I may want to talk to you some more.
Call me any time. Good night, Commander.
Good night.
Yeah. That isn't the craziest thing. That guy's a dead ringer from Baccarati, but he sounds different and acts different.
What did you find out, Happy?
Oh, he's Thomas Benson, engaged in the manufacturing business on Neptune. First cousin of Prince Baccarati.
Go on.
Changed his name from Baccarati to Benson. And this will kill you, sir. At Prince Baccarati's request, to save the family from embarrassment.
Oh?
Yeah, the prince didn't want to be disgraced by a cousin who worked.
Does Benson have any criminal record?
No, sir. Spends his spare time collecting little statuettes, Mercury jade, mostly.
Well, what about Zakra?
Well, he'll pull through all that, sir, but he's still in a coma. He hasn't got a record either.
I was hoping this cousin might be an important link in Prince Baccarati's spy ring. Somehow, Baccarati manages to get information to and from the United Planets and Planet X.
Yeah, and with the spacephone channels being monitored the way they are, and Planet X almost blocked.
There's a leak somewhere, Happy.
Well, it sure isn't Benson. Why, in a whole week, Benson's Space Patrol guard didn't see anyone get through to Benson that didn't have proper identification.
Space Patrol guard?
Yes, sir. Benson asked for special protection around his home in Neptune City a couple of weeks ago.
Why did they want special protection?
Well, he told the Neptune City chief he'd received an anonymous threat. Well, after a week, the chief figured it was just a crank and called the patrol off.
Why didn't you mention that before, Happy?
Well, chief, sir, I guess I figured it wasn't important. If Baccarati's cousin was spying for the prince, he wouldn't ask for Space Patrol protection, would he? Or would he?
Well, we're in Saturn City, Hap. I think we'll keep an eye on Thomas Benson.
Meanwhile, far out in space, avoiding the regular space lanes, a space cruiser races toward Saturn. In it are Prince Baccarati and his scientific aide, Dr. Malengro.
Your disguise is excellent, Your Highness. If I hadn't helped you make up, I swear I'd never recognize you.
We'll pass the casual inspection. And since the Space Patrol has no reason to suspect that I'll be on Saturn, we'll have no trouble.
Suppose your cousin Thomas doesn't have the jewels with him on Saturn.
Of course he's got them. That's why he left Neptune and came to Saturn to hide the jewels. I know those threats would worry him, and when a man like my cousin is frightened, he doesn't trust his own judgment from one minute to the next.
In trying to find a safer place for the jewels, he practically brings them out into the open.
That's right. He thought it would be clever to conceal millions worth of jewels with a dealer in worthless junk like Zatra.
But evidently, Zatra knew nothing of the gems. I'm sure your agent could have made him talk.
My men bungled there. You should have known my cousin wouldn't trust a small shopkeeper with that much treasure. What Thomas had in mind probably was to conceal the gems in various bric-a-brac without Zatra's knowledge. My agent should never have struck Zatra. At least not until he was sure Thomas has completed his arrangements.
Yes, Excellency. Now your cousin will be frightened away.
We'll get the jewels all right, Melinda. I've got to. I need them to pay off my agent. And to buy information, I need to keep ahead of Commander Corey.
Of course, Your Highness.
5 minutes out of Saturn today.
You've made excellent time from Planet X, Your Highness.
We don't have much to spare. Knowing Thomas the way I do, he's probably getting ready to leave Saturn to look for another place to hide his jewels.
Yes, Happy?
I just picked up some information about Thomas Benson. He's booked passage on the Space Queen for Neptune for the night.
And he told me he was staying here on Saturn for a while. Well, let's get out to the spaceport and find out why Thomas Benson is suddenly anxious to return.
At the Saturn City spaceport, Thomas Benson nervously paces back and forth in an almost deserted wing of a big terminal building, unaware that 2 men are watching his every move.
Attention, please. The Space Queen will blast off for Neptune in 20 minutes. Gate 9 is now open. Passengers are requested to board the ship immediately.
Just a moment, Thomas. What's your hurry?
Well, I don't believe I know you. If you don't mind, I've got to get aboard.
Don't you recognize your own cousin?
You?
That's right. Your royal relation, Prince Baccarati. Now, if you'll be good enough to hand over those jewels.
Jewels? I haven't any jewels.
Now, come, Thomas. At my father's death, you received quite a fortune in precious gems, and I want them.
But they're mine. He willed them to me.
He willed them to Baccarati. You have renounced our noble name. You're no Baccarati. You're just plain Thomas Benson. Now I need those jewels to restore the name Baccarati to its former luster in the solar system.
You're
mad. All geniuses are considered mad by the ordinary. And the stupid. I can put those gems to good use, Thomas. Now hand them over.
You don't think I'd be carrying them with me?
Perhaps not. And you're anxious to get back to Neptune. Therefore the jewels are still there. Very well. I'll take you to Neptune in my ship.
Well, you can't. You're wanted by the Space Patrol if they catch you.
They won't catch me. You didn't recognize me, my own cousin. And Commander Corey walked within 20 feet of me while he was following you.
Corey is here at the terminal?
Yes.
Good. You can't possibly take me away with Corey here.
Oh, and he knows who you are. He doesn't think you're Prince Baccarati.
He knows who I am.
And if you try to force me... I have an idea. Get into this vacant room over there. We'll change clothes. And I'll remove this disguise. Hurry up. Or will I have to use it?
Attention, please. Gate 9 will close in 1 minute. Passengers bound for Neptune on the Space Queen must board the ship immediately.
What happened to Benson, sir? What he told? He may have. If he leaves the terminal, he'll be followed. Come on, look. Go through that other gate. Is that Benson? Right. That gate leads to the private cruiser blast-off lines. Oh, that Benson's pulling a fast one, huh? Come on, Hap, let's follow him. He's heading to the big private cruiser. He's in the shadow of this freight loading platform. All right, come on, let's close in. Just a minute, Benson.
Yes?
I thought you promised to stay on Saturn. Step over here into the light.
Anything to oblige, Corey.
Come here, it's Chris Baccarati.
Get him, Hap. All right, Malenko, use your ray gun. Needs to be done, Malenko. Now, help me get Corey and the cadet aboard my ship. After we get the jewels, we'll give the commander a one-way trip to Planet X.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment.
That was an F-86 Sabre jet fighter in actual combat in Korea. I'm George Welch, Chief Test Pilot of the Sabre jet at North American Aviation in Los Angeles. The Sabre is 37 feet long, weight 8 tons. The wings are swept back at a 35-degree angle, and their span is 37 feet. Top speed of the Sabre jet is more than 650 miles an hour. I was lucky enough to make the first flight in the F-86 Sabre jet. The first time up for the 50th, every flight is important. That's why I have to keep in top shape. I like to eat good food with lots of energy in it. Rice Chex and Wheat Chex meet that test, and they taste exactly right. I think you'll like them, too.
No other cereal, puffed or flaked, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex.
And now, back to the spies from Planet X. Prince Baccarati donned a disguise and came to Saturn to steal a fortune in precious gems from his cousin Thomas Benson, who closely resembles the evil prince. Thinking they were following Benson, Buzz and Happy were overpowered by Baccarati and Dr. Malengro, and now are captives in the prince's private cruiser heading toward Neptune. In the compartment with them is their fellow prisoner, Thomas Benson.
I'm telling you the truth, Commander. I was only going back to Neptune to protect my troops.
Why didn't you tell me that before?
I realized I should have told you everything, but I didn't want to bring my cousin's name into it. You see, I managed to live down the fact that I'm a Baccarat. I wanted to avoid unpleasant publicity.
Someone's outside the door.
I can only with my hands free.
Take it easy, Hap.
Gentlemen, are you enjoying the trip?
Well, Baccarati, going to a masquerade?
I presume my disguise. You see, we'll be landing on Neptune in a few minutes. And after my cousin gives me the jewels from his vault, I shall remove my disguise and return to my ship as Cousin Tom.
You're going to leave me in Neptune City, then?
Yes. When I have the jewels, you'll be of no further use to me, cousin.
Why do you need the jewels, Baccarati? I understood you were rich.
Yes, but it costs quite a bit to maintain my spy system on the United Planets, Commander. And you must admit, it's quite effective.
It has been so far, Baccarati. Frankly, I don't see how you do it. I mean, maintain contact between Planet X and your agent.
I might as well tell you, Corey, since there is nothing you can do about it. I have a robot receiving station on Saturn's 8th moon.
Funny we haven't picked up any messages from it.
Not at all. You see, there are no transmitters at the station, merely receivers.
But what good does it do for a robot just to receive messages?
They're recorded on tape. And automatically indexed electronically for the agent they're intended for.
And your spies visit moon number 8 in spaceships, get them information and instructions, and go back to work.
Exactly. An occasional innocent-looking prospecting ship visiting the deserted moon never arouses suspicion.
Very clever, Baccarati.
Thank you, Commander. Now, Cousin Thomas, I'll release you. We're about to land, Corey. You and the cadet will remain in the ship till I return. Dr. Malengro will see that you're come.
A few moments later, two men of almost identical size and build get out of a surface car in front of a handsome dwelling in Neptune City. They enter the building and proceed to a large room. Nervously, one of the men presses a button in the wall, and the panel slides silently.
You can feel, Thomas. I'll open the safe. I can't remember the combination. I have a few tricks that will jog your memory. Very sensitive electronic combination. Look, I don't think I can... Just try it and quit stalling. Open it.
The jewel for you. That's in the jewel box.
Open it up. Not that I doubt your honesty, of course. Are you sure this is all of them? Yes. All right. I'll be running along now, Thomas. First, I'll take the precaution of using this ray gun on you. After all, I couldn't have you setting an alarm till I'm safely on my way back to Planet X.
Removing his disguise, Prince Baccarati boldly returns to the Neptune City spaceport, boards his ship, and blasts off. Now, an hour later, with Dr. Malengro at the controls and the ship headed toward Planet X, the Prince taunts his prisoner, Commander Clark.
You see, Commander, everything is working fine. You're out of duel.
What did you do with your cousin, Baccarati?
Oh, he'll be all right in a few hours. You know, for years I hated the idea that Thomas looked like me. It offended my sense of individuality. Now I'm glad of it. Oh, the approach warning. Something's wrong.
Space Patrol ship approaching at 2 o'clock, Your Highness. What are your orders?
Space Patrol ship? Confound it. Thomas couldn't have put an alarm in this quickly. Hurry, come out front with me. Get moving.
See it, Your Highness?
Of course I see it. That's why I brought Corey out here. We can use him to persuade the ship not to fire on us.
Excellent idea, Your Highness.
Wait. That's a robot starship.
That's right, Baccarati. It's sending out electronic information on your position and vector.
I'll fix that, Malengro. Use the proton gun.
At once, Excellency.
Hurry up. That's it before it can relay our vector. Stand right where you are, Corey.
I got it, Your Highness.
Lone True Six. Good work, Malengro.
It certainly is. Now there won't be any doubt that patrol ships will come after you.
What do you mean?
When that robot ship stops sending a space phone signal, a squadron will immediately come here to investigate.
Malengro, change our vector.
Where to, Your Highness?
Any place but for Planet X. I know. Head for Saturn moon number 8. I can hide out there till we learn it's safe to return to Planet X. Come on, Corey, back to your compartment. Same vector, sir. Where's he taking
He wants to hide out on moon number 8. A smart move, huh?
Yeah. Commander, what's that in here? It's the jewel box.
Mm-hmm. I managed to pick it up while Baccarati was excited over the space station.
That's right. So that, what good are they going to do us?
I don't know. Except it'll worry Baccarati when he misses him. Can't stand up.
Yes, sir?
There's a locker under that seat. See if we can get it open.
One of the weapons in here. Got some space suits and a few tools.
How many space suits?
3. And here's an atomo port. Hey, we could cut our way out of the compartment and watch Baccarati and Malengro.
And they're armed. If we failed, it would be our last chance.
With these space suits, maybe we could get out of the ship. I know, through the cargo loading tube.
Happy, get those suits out. I'll go to work in the door with the atomo torch. Take the spacer phone out of the third suit.
There's no sign of a ship in the viewscope, Your Highness.
Good. And we've thrown them up. If we can reach moon number 8, we'll be in the clear.
Commander Corey calling all space patrol units to the Neptune, Jupiter, Saturn sectors.
Listen, Genius Corp.
How did he get his spacer?
I don't know. The locker. He got into the locker. Those extra spaces. Come on, we've got to stop him.
Commander Corey to all space patrol units. Prince Baccarati is heading towards Saturn moon number 8 in a private cruiser. Be careful. The ship is armed with a proton gun.
They're gone. They're out of the compartment.
Your Highness, they must have left the ship, the cargo chute. They've escaped.
Wait. Back to the control compartment. Hurry.
I'm unable to give the registry number of Baccarati's ship, but it's a Class B cruiser. His vector is approximately 40 degrees sun-regulus orientation.
Confound it, Malengo. He'll have every ship in the universe after us.
Look out the starboard viewport. There they are.
I knew it. They're floating along with the ship.
Now, what is Agent Corey's call? I hope they haven't heard him yet.
They will, soon enough. The proton's on. That will fix him.
But, Your Highness...
Get out of my way. We got to stop Corey. And that proton gone will do the trick.
Your Highness will only...
Attention all Space Patrol units. This is an emergency.
This will silence him.
Commander Corey calling all units. This is an emergency.
Without a trace. Both of them.
Now, that will take care of Corey from here.
If we can't continue to moon number 8, someone may have heard his voice.
We'll change vector again. Perhaps we can proceed directly to Planet X. The Space Patrol will be... Oh, no.
What's the matter, Your Highness?
The jewel. Where is the jewel box? I had it in my hand a while ago.
That's what I was trying to tell you, Your Highness. You put them there on the edge of the control panel when that robot ship appeared. Corey must have taken them when you weren't looking.
My treasure. Corey had it when the proton gun blew him up. My jewels disintegrated. Why didn't you warn me?
I do, Your Highness.
You idiot! I have to think of everything around here. Now what are we going to do?
You won't need those jewels now, Baccarati.
Corey!
Take care of Malengo, Happy.
Yes, sir.
All right, Baccarati. Are you going to be sensible, or shall I fix it so nobody will mistake you for your cousin?
You win, Corey. I've had enough.
You can cover it, Happy.
Yes. I said you were in those spacesuits.
Sure you did. I didn't want you searching your ship for the spacephone I was really using, so I used 2 suits as decoys. We're heading for moon number 8. You're going to show me that robot receiving station, Baccarati.
A few hours later, Buzz sets Baccarati's cruiser down on the rocky surface of Saturn's moon number 8. Then he and Happy hold ray guns on Malengro and Baccarati as the 4 men, clad in spacesuits, step out on the airless Saturn.
Keep moving, Baccarati. Stand at the foot of this big cliff, Corey. You and Malengro go first. Watch your step, Happy. That's quite a drop. Move along, Malengro. You're in my way. You're right there. Baccarati, grab Malengro. He's falling. Oh! Grab that ledge. He's got it, sir. All right. Steady now, Malengro. I've got to pull with your arm. And hang on to me. Yes, sir. All right, now. Pull. I've got you, sir. Now, just relax, Malengro. You're all right. There. Sorry, Miss Malengro. So watch it next time. Now, it looked to me as though Baccarati pushed Malengro instead of trying to help him. Where is Baccarati? The rockets, he's gone. I forgot all about him, trying to save Malengro. Happy, he's climbed up and headed for the ship. You watch Malengro. I'll go up after him. Yes, sir. Oh, we're too late. There he goes. All right. Hey, get that. Baccarati's willing to kill this guy to make a getaway, and Malengro says, good luck. I have an idea Baccarati won't get very far. Space Patrol ships will be showing up pretty quick. Commander, the proton gun. Baccarati can blast us to bits. Not without the proton firing sound. I removed it from the gun right after the fight. I took that along with the jewels. Oh, boy, that sure saved our lives. Come on. Let's get down to the receiving station. With that information, we can round up Baccarati's spies in a few hours.
An action preview of next week's exciting adventure in just a moment. Hi, Space Patrollers. It's the day of the big parade on Terra, and just about every Space Patroller and his little brother have turned out to watch the fun. Man, it sure is a swell parade. Now, hey, wait a minute. What's that coming down the street now? Why, it's the Space Patrollers Drum and Bugle Corps number 5, all the way from Venus City, Venus. Just listen to those supercharged bugles and hear those supercharged drums. One thing for sure, these Space Patrollers had their bite-sized checks today. And how about you, gang? You know, the best way in the universe to start off the day is with a big bowl full of bite-sized rice checks or wheat checks. Because no other cereal, flake, or puff contains so much energy in such concentrated bite-sized form. Yes, sir, you're packing in plenty of vitamins and minerals with every delicious bite you take. And that means Energy Plus for you. And remember, Space Patrollers, September is Better Breakfast Month. Getting a good, big breakfast every morning is important because you haven't had anything to eat for hours and hours.
So before you march off for the day, have yourself a better breakfast, a real Space Patrol breakfast with Rice Chex or Wheat Chex. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy have trapped one of Prince Baccarati's spies in a sub-basement in Jupiter City.
It's no use, Happy. We could never break it down.
That's right, Corey. You can't escape.
Coming from that speaker up there. Cirkin, listen to me.
You listen to me. I'm getting off this planet, Corey. Prince Baccarati tipped me off that a guided missile has been launched toward Jupiter City. There's nothing you can do to stop it.
Be sure to join us again next week for the thrilling story, Taret Jupiter, when Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hut Wilson again present Space Patrol! Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Devery. Other players were Bela Kovacs, Norman Jolly, Ken Mayer, and Dick Fields. Dick Tufel speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hut Wilson again present Space Patrol! And be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network. Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hut Wilson present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol. In today's transcribed adventure, Buzz and Happy have trapped one of Prince Baccarati's spies in a sub-basement in Jupiter City. Cautiously, the spy presses a concealed button and slips through a secret opening.
Commander, there he goes. Oh, it's no use, Happy. We could never break it down.
That's right, Corey. You can't escape.
Cirkin's voice coming from that speaker up there. Cirkin, listen to me.
You listen to me. I'm getting off this planet, Corey. Prince Baccarati tipped me off that a guided missile has been launched toward Jupiter City. There's nothing you can do to stop it.
We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, Taret Jupiter. It's Saturday, gang, no school, and here's a bunch of Space Patrollers who have real big plans for this weekend. They're packing up for a camping trip out on the mountains. In go the tents. In goes the hiking equipment. Yes, sir, they're packing power and energy now with a big case of bite-sized Rice Chex and bite-sized Wheat Chex, those super cereals that help us supercharge you. And, gang, not only are Rice Chex and Wheat Chex the best-tasting cereals in the universe, but no other cereal, flaked or puffed, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. Nourishment that adds up to more zip and bounce and sparkle for you. And Space Patrollers, September is Better Breakfast Month. So now's the time to start pulling up to your table every morning and having yourself a better breakfast with bite-sized Rice Chex or bite-sized Wheat Chex. They're out, power-packed and ready for anything. They had their bite-sized Chex today. Now, how about you? And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, Taret Jupiter. Commander Corey has Prince Baccarati's chief henchman, Dr. Malengro, in custody on the planet Terra, following his capture on one of Saturn's moons. Baccarati managed to escape while Buzz and Happy were rescuing Malengro from a perilous situation into which Baccarati thrust the brilliant but corrupt Malengro. Following Commander Corey's instructions, Major Robertson is preparing to give Dr. Malengro a brainograph test to learn details of Baccarati's defenses on Planet X. Now, in the commander's central office, Cadet Happy is carefully adjusting the spaceophone receiver while Buzz reviews a few known facts about Baccarati's defenses.
I think this ought to do it, Happy.
Are you all ready to give Malengro the brainograph test, sir?
Yes, well, I have enough key questions here to bring out most of Malengro's knowledge of Baccarati's weapons. And also, if we're lucky, Baccarati's immediate plan.
Yeah, I guess Malengro knows just about everything Baccarati plans to do.
Oh, by the way, did you pick up that signal again, the one to me from outer space?
Oh, no, sir, not again.
If it was a patrol ship, they would have used one of the regular relay frequencies. They would have reached me through regular communication. Well, shut off the spacephone. Let's go down to the brainograph chamber.
Yes, sir.
Calling Commander Corey at Terra headquarters.
There it is, sir.
Prince Baccarati on Planet X calling Commander Corey at Space Patrol headquarters, Terra.
Baccarati?
Let's see what he's up to now. Corey here. Go ahead, Baccarati.
Just listen, Corey. This is a warning and an ultimatum. I want Dr. Malengro released immediately.
That sounds a little ridiculous, Baccarati. Not long ago, you tried to kill him just so you could escape.
I'm not speaking out of sentiment, Corey. Malengro has information about Planet X that would be inconvenient for you to know. I'm warning you, unless you put Dr. Malengro on the spacephone and assure me that he will be returned to Planet X, I'll destroy Terra.
Yes? How?
This is no bluff, Commander. I can blast a guided missile into Terra and wipe out the capital of the United Planets. And I'll do it.
You do that just to get Malengro back?
Whether he comes back or not is up to you. If he goes under the brainograph, I'll blast Terra apart before you can use that information against me.
What are you going to do, sir? There's no use appealing to his reason or decency. Baccarati, do you take my word that Malengro has not been given a brainograph test?
You might lie to me to save Terra. Bring Malengro to the spacephone. I want to hear it from him.
All right, Baccarati, I'll get him. One happy. Let's go over to the security lab and have Major Robertson release Malengro. Robbie.
Oh, Commander, I'm glad you're here.
Robbie, I just heard from Baccarati. We're going to blast Terra with a guided missile unless we return Malengro to Planet X immediately.
I'm not sure that's possible.
Have you started the treatments already?
Well, no, sir. We didn't have a chance to start.
So why? What's wrong?
Malengro's in a deep coma, Commander. He evidently had some chemical concealed on him. Dr. Stevens and I have been working on him, trying to bring him to. Nothing we've tried has had any effect. He's practically in suspended animation, sir.
Oh, how's he going to talk to Baccarati?
He can't. Well, come on. Let's go back and give the news.
It's a trick, Corey. You're lying to me.
I'm not lying, Baccarati. Dr. Malengro has put himself into a state of suspended animation.
Ah, then he outwitted you, Corey. You might as well turn him over to me.
Suppose I refuse.
I'll carry out my threat to destroy Terra.
If I send out a ship with Malengro on it, will you guarantee its safe return?
You mean you'll accept my word?
I'll have to under the circumstances.
I can't afford that luxury myself, Commander. How do I know you won't try to trick me?
If you don't trust me, how are you going to get Malengro back?
Put Dr. Malengro in a spacesuit and drop him out in space. I'll give you precise instructions. My men will pick up Malengro when we are certain those space patrol ships are around.
All right, Baccarati. Let's have the space coordinates. I'll return Malengro myself.
True to his word, Commander Corey has Dr. Malengro placed in a spacesuit. And then he and Happy drop the unconscious man off in space as directed by Baccarati and head back toward Terra.
I sure wish we'd got some information from Malengro while we had him. Maybe Baccarati couldn't have destroyed Terra after all.
Maybe not. But I couldn't place thousands of people in danger just to hold Malengro.
Major Robertson, Terra headquarters, calling Commander Corey aboard Terra 5. Major Robertson to Commander Corey.
Corey here. Go ahead, Robbie.
We just picked up a brief message from Baccarati. He picked up Malengro.
Good. Let's keep all space patrol ships on the alert in the Terra perimeter. We can't trust Baccarati.
Right, Commander. Well, we just received some interesting information from Jupiter headquarters. Within the past 12 hours, 7 of Baccarati's spies have left Jupiter City.
Do you know where they went?
Well, 2 went to Saturn. 1 seems headed for Venus. The other 4 are still being tailed by our agents.
What about Baccarati's men on Terra?
No activity. At least among those we know about.
Now, those 7 who left Jupiter, are they the only known spies on that planet?
Oh, no, sir. There's 1 more still in Jupiter City. And there are 3 in Kepler City.
Well, that man's still in Jupiter City. Who is he?
Rupert Zirkin. He claims to be a purchasing agent for Outer Planet Space Lines. And in the last year, he's paid out 200,000 credits to manufacturers.
I see.
The odd part of it is that Outer Planet hasn't placed that much business with Zirkin.
But Zirkin is with Outer Planet Lines.
Yes, a minor official in the purchasing department. Outer Planet Space Lines is on
on the up and up, all right. They voluntarily showed their books to our agent.
And Sirkin is using Outer Planet lines as a cover for someone else. Obviously, Baccarati.
The way I've got it figured, Commander. The president of the company wanted to discharge Sirkin, but our agents persuaded him to give him more rope.
Good. Happy and I are going to Jupiter City. I want to find out what's keeping Sirkin in town when Baccarati's other spies have left.
A few hours later, in Jupiter City, Commander Corey reviews the files on Rupert Sirkin and talks to the agent who has been watching the spy. Now, in civilian clothes, Buzz and Happy are strolling through a small park in the pleasant residential section of Jupiter City.
Well, that's Sirkin's apartment right across the street, Happy, on the ground floor on the left.
Nice place. Not too fancy.
It's just the sort of place a man with Sirkin's position in the spaceship company should have.
Remember, a man's coming around the corner. And from the way he's stepping it off, he's in a hurry.
It's Sirkin. Apparently his visit to the Technoplast Labs was a success. Let's find out. Yes? Mr. Sirkin? Yes, what can I do for you? I'd like to talk to you inside, if you don't mind. Well, I'm rather busy, but come in. Thanks. Come on, Sirkin. Now, what was this in regard to, Mr. Corey? You're with Outer Planet Space Lines, is that right? Yes. As a matter of fact, I'm working on an important deal for them right now. So if you'll please be brief, I'll appreciate it. Of course. The deal involves Technoplast Labs. You've just come from a meeting with their production supervisor, Franklin Delaport, I believe. Yes, we discussed the purchase of 8 tons of Vetafoil, is that right? I was under the impression that my meeting with Delaport was a private business matter, Mr. Corey. Commander Corey of the Space Patrol. I assume you're aware that the government authorization you showed to Mr. Delaport was a forgery. Outer Planet Space Lines has never applied for a permit to buy Vetafoil. Just a minute. You know what Vetafoil is, don't you? Not exactly. You're a purchasing agent. Don't you know what you're purchasing? I buy thousands of different items and materials. I do it by lot number, by name, by code. All right, Happy. Tell Mr. Sirkin what Vetafoil is.
It's the only known substance that'll confuse viewscope beams. A spaceship covered with Vetafoil will bounce viewscope beams back in all directions and at reduced frequencies. Frequencies that the ordinary viewscope can't detect.
All right, Sirkin. Who do you know that would be interested in obtaining a large quantity of that substance? I don't run Outer Planet. Take it up with the top brass. I already have, Mr. Sirkin. Outer Planet has no plans involving the use of Vetafoil. I don't understand. You're working for someone else besides Outer Planet. You've used several 100,000 credits belonging to someone else to buy materials in the name of Outer Planet. I want to know who put up that money. Is it Prince Baccarati? Come on, is it? We know you're one of Baccarati's spies. You can save yourself a lot of trouble by telling us the whole story. All right, Commander. I guess it's no use. You and the other spies have been trailed ever since we picked up some evidence at Baccarati's communications center on Saturn's 6th moon. How do you contact Baccarati? In the sub-basement. The space aquarium. All the records are there. I'll show you. All right, sir. Take us down there. Watch him. There's a concealed door here. Go on in, Sirkin. You'll find most of the evidence in those filing cabinets. Uh-huh. Where's the spaceophone? There's a panel in this wall.
Another door.
And it's my way out. Grab him, Happy.
You're too late, Commander.
Happy, out the other door, quick.
Closing.
No, it's too late. Look for that secret patch in the side wall.
It's not very well hidden. You can find it, but it won't do you any good.
Sirkin's voice coming from that speaker up there.
Sirkin, listen to me.
No, you listen to me. You can't escape, Corey. The release mechanism works only from my fingerprints. You can stay in there till the entire city is destroyed.
What are you talking about?
You probably know about Prince Baccarati's agents leaving Jupiter City, don't you?
Yes, what about it?
Prince Baccarati tipped us off that he was blasting a guided missile into the city at 1500 hours Universal Star Time. That's less than half an hour from now.
A guided missile? Where's he launching it from?
One of Jupiter's moons. By this time, it's already on its way. And there's nothing you can do to stop it.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. Here's a salute to the famous jet plane assigned to the vital Air Force mission of defending America's homeland, the F-94C Starfire, built by the Lockheed Aircraft Corporation, Burbank, California. Now, in just a moment, you'll hear from Tony LaVere, test pilot on the Starfire. Within seconds after warning, this radar-controlled interceptor can be off the ground and streaking to 45,000 feet or higher. Packing 48 rockets, it can fly and fight in sunshine or pitch darkness at speeds of more than 600 miles an hour. On landing, the Starfire can be brought to a quick stop by a parachute, which pops from its tail. And now, Tony LaVere.
You know, good health is important to a test pilot, and I have to stay in top condition. I get lots of rest and eat plenty of good food. That's why I like a good cereal for breakfast, like Rice Chex or Wheat Chex. They have real energy and they taste swell. Why don't you try them?
No other cereal, puff, or flake contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex. Get some at your grocers today. And now, back to our Space Patrol adventure, Taret Jupiter. Commander Corey and Cadet Happy have been locked in a sub-basement on Jupiter by one of Prince Baccarati's spies, who has told Buzz that a guided missile has been released from one of the Jupiter moons and will strike the city at 1500 hours. Now, with less than 30 minutes in which to save the city from disaster, Buzz and Happy tried desperately to escape from their prison.
It's no use, Happy.
What are we going to do, sir? If Circuit is right, there's a guided missile beelining for Jupiter City right now.
Circuit won't waste any time getting out of the city. Chances are he's headed for the spaceport.
Maybe one of our agents will grab him, sir, and then he'll tell what's happening to save his own skin.
With half an hour's warning, an ordinary guided missile might be stopped before it hits, but if it's covered with radar foil, it couldn't be detected.
Do you think Baccarati could have got a hold of some radar foil already, sir?
That's possible. You know, he ordered 8 tons through Circuit. Well, we can't take a chance on Circuit being caught. We've got to alert the Space Patrol.
Well, then let's start hacking at the walls with that bar, sir. It's the only thing we can do.
Wait, hold it. Look up there.
Huh? Oh, a ventilator grating.
Right. If we remove that grating, we might be able to crawl through to another part of Circuit's apartment.
It'll be a tight squeeze, but well, give me a boost and we'll try.
As Buzz and Happy pry loose the grating over the ventilator, Prince Baccarati and Dr. Malengro follow the deadly trajectory of a guided missile on a viewscope screen from a hideout on one of the 12 moons of Jupiter.
It's on course, Your Highness. In 24 minutes, the missile will strike Jupiter City.
It's too bad Cirkin couldn't get the rest of those 8 tons of radar foil off the pen in time. We could have used it.
Perhaps it's just as well.
You're right, Malengo. Cirkin wasn't inefficient, as I had hoped. At any rate, the radar foil on this missile will get it through the Jupiter defense perimeter.
Yes, unless a patrol ship gets directly on stern of the missile the way we are, they'll never detect it.
And even if they do, it'll be receding from them. Anything they fire at it from that trajectory will hit Jupiter City, too.
Back in Jupiter City, Buzz and Happy work their way inch by inch through the ventilator pipe. Finally, at a turn in the conduit, Happy calls back to the commander.
I've reached the grating, sir. From what I can see, it looks like the main entrance.
Good. See if you can force the grating.
Yes, sir. Oh, I can't budge it, sir. I keep slipping back into the vent.
I've got my legs braced in the pan. I'll hold your feet in my hands. All set. Now, push.
I think it's giving way, sir. I did it, sir. I can crawl out now.
Good boy. I'll give you a hand.
We're coming out right by the main entrance, Commander.
As soon as you're out, rush for the street, Hap. If you get a surface cab, you can alert Space Patrol headquarters before we reach the space.
Rushing out of Rupert Cirkin's apartment, Buzz and Happy hail a passing surface cab. Issuing commands through the cab's spaceophone, Buzz alerts the Jupiter Defense Squadron. A few moments later, Commander Corey and Cadet Happy are spaceborne over Jupiter in the Terra 5. Simultaneously, around the Jupiter Defense perimeter, viewscopes are trained on the 12 moons. And as computers go into operation, the sensitive space monitors are trained on the 4 moons from which missiles could be successfully launched to strike Jupiter City at 1500 hours. From his spaceship, Buzz establishes contact through space control with several patrol ships. And then, as Happy monitors the viewscope scanner, Buzz checks with the Jupiter City headquarters.
Corey aboard Terra 5, calling Major Robertson.
Bobby here. Go ahead, Commander.
Can
you give me a report from Central Analyzer as of 1500 minus 5 minutes?
Oh, sure, Commander. Jupiter moons number 2, 5, 8, and 11 are now possible launching points. All others are eliminated.
Check.
Control ships report no objects projecting from these moons.
There's something funny in this viewscope.
Just a minute, Happy. Go ahead, Robbie.
We received reports of a strange interference signal from several patrol ships beamed toward moon number 4.
What kind of interference?
Well, I can't explain it, sir, except to say it's like a big hole in the viewscope screen. Stars, other planets, everything blotted out.
Commander, that's just what's happening in our screen.
The effect radar foil would make happy. Robbie, stand by for special orders.
Standing by, sir.
Some unknown object is headed toward Jupiter from moon number 4. We can't locate it exactly because of radar foil interference. No one ship can pinpoint the source. I want all patrol ships to space-phone a signal when their viewscopes are centered directly on this interference. By combining all the signals, you may be able to compute the exact vector.
I'll relay your instructions, Commander.
With a special signal, each ship of the squadron relays to Commander Corey the estimated center of a blurred viewscope image. And as the data is received, Cadet Happy rapidly computes the trajectory.
I sure hope this works, sir.
Keep working, Hap. You're centering on the target. Stand by to fire space torpedoes.
Standing by, sir.
I've put our ship on the theoretical vector of the guided missile, Hap.
That bright dot in the viewscope should be the guided missile.
Fire number 1.
Oh, that was a miss, Commander. The dot's still there.
Fire 2.
Oh, missed again.
This is our last chance, Hap. If we miss this time, Jupiter City's finished. Fire 3.
We did it. The viewscope is clear.
Not a second too soon, Hap. Did you have a chance to make a record of the trajectory of that missile?
Yes, sir. It's on the instrument.
Run it back. You'll find out.
Something went wrong, Malengo.
The missile blew up before it hit Jupiter City. It was 50 miles short of its target.
Malengo, you told me these missiles were foolproof.
The Space Patrol must have hit it, Your Highness.
With the radio foil interference, impossible.
It was sure luck. It can't happen again. We can launch another missile at Jupiter City.
Stop. Wait. They'll expect that. Prepare a missile for Kepler City.
But, Your Highness, we can't hit Kepler City from moon number 4 not till Jupiter revolves into position.
Jupiter revolves very rapidly, Malengo. Get to work. Align the launching mechanism.
But, Your Highness, how about your agents in Kepler City? You don't want to destroy them, do you?
Yeah. They may have information I can use. All right. We'll space-phone them a warning to leave immediately. But don't tell them.
Meanwhile, Commander Corey has ordered the extra patrol ships to return to their base at Jupiter City. Now, as he and Happy point the long, needle-nosed spaceship Terra 5 toward the capital of the planet Jupiter, a familiar voice booms from the spacephone.
Major Roberts in Space Patrol Headquarters Terra calling Commander Corey aboard Terra 5.
Corey here. Go ahead, Robbie.
Hey, congratulations, Commander. Just heard you intercepted Baccarati's dose from death before it hit Jupiter City.
Thanks, Robbie. I'm keeping regular patrols on the alert, though. He may try it again.
Say, I picked up some information you might be interested in, Commander. Baccarati's agents are leaving Kepler City.
They are?
Yeah, and it seems to be a rush order, sir. What do you make of it?
Well, it's hard to say, Robbie. Wait a minute. His agents left Jupiter City just before he launched that missile.
Maybe Kepler City's next.
It looks like it, Robbie. Hap.
Yes, sir?
Have you computed that missile trajectory?
Well, I'm not too sure of the results, sir. The radio foil makes it pretty hard to be precise.
Where do you think it came from?
Well, right now, it looks like moon number 4, sir. Although it might be moon number 6.
Let's see the astrogation time.
Yes, sir.
As far as Jupiter City is concerned, it could be even up toward Kepler City.
Moon number 6 won't be in the right position for several hours yet, Commander.
I'll check on 4, but I'll order a squadron to patrol 6 just as a precaution. Robbie.
Yes, Commander?
Right now, it looks as though Moon 4 is the launching site. Below the horizon from Kepler City at the moment, but in a few hours, it'll be in position. I'm going to order Squadron 3 to accompany me to Moon number
4. Everything ready, Dr. Malengo?
Yes, Your Highness. I've computed the launching time. It's 18:27 and 43 8 seconds.
It's less than 10 minutes. Now, you're sure nothing will go wrong?
It can't, Your Highness. Kepler City will be completely destroyed.
Look. What's that in the viewscope?
A spaceship.
What is it doing over this part of the moon?
Your Highness, it's a space patrol ship.
It's Terra 5. It's Commander Corey.
He's searching for us, Your Highness. The have 60-mile boring to bits.
Malengo, Don't fire at him just yet. I have an idea.
Hold at this altitude, Happy.
Yes, sir.
Watch the geoscope carefully. Dr. Roddy's probably got the launching site camouflaged.
Any time now, I could be blasting the missile toward Kepler City, according to my calculations.
If we don't locate the launching site before blast-off, the launching itself can show us where it is.
I've got the space torpedo on the ready, Commander.
With little luck, we'll be close enough to track the missile, whether it's coated with radar foil or not.
Commander, look out! Wow.
That was a space torpedo, Happy.
And was it close? Baccarati must have seen us.
Yes, he gave himself away by firing that torpedo. The launching site is on top of that peak.
You're right, sir. I see it now.
Terrific job of camouflage. If I hadn't seen the flash when the space torpedo was launched, I'd have missed it completely.
Commander, look. There's a guided missile rolling out of the tunnel, right up to the launching chute.
I'm getting ready to fire it, Hap. We'll have to blast it. Stand by to fire space torpedo.
Standing by, sir.
Have to get into position before it's launched. Just this one ship after it. We could never locate it with a viewscope.
No, sir. Not with that radar foil on the hull.
Fire, Hap.
Wow.
A direct hit, Hap. He destroyed the missile.
Smoke and rockets, the entire peak is gone. Leveled flat. Well, I guess that takes care of Prince Baccarati for good.
Does it?
Well, doesn't it, sir?
I don't know. I don't know.
An action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. Something strange is happening outside Commander Corey's private quarters.
Say, it looks like someone's tiptoeing in. Now he's going through the commander's papers. Who is this ominous intruder?
What can he be searching for in the quarters of the Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol?
Someone else is coming.
Happy.
Hello, Commander.
Looking for something?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but I heard you tell Major Robertson that the key to the greatest secret ever to be revealed on Space Patrol is here in your desk. And, well, I just had to know about it, but I can't seem to find it.
Can't you, Happy? Well, maybe I'd better tell you. And you too, Space Patrollers. Believe me, it's really an exciting secret. A secret prize. The biggest prize ever given away to any boy or girl. And here in the desk, the key to that secret prize.
A box of hot Ralston? I don't get it, Commander.
Open the box, huh?
Oh, okay, sir. But I still don't see... Hey, there's a coin in here. A space coin.
Right, Hap. And Space Patrollers, the swell-looking coin that you'll find in every box of hot Ralston is your opportunity to win a gigantic prize that no other boy or girl on Earth has ever owned. So go to your grocers right away. Get yourself some good hot Ralston, either instant or regular, in the new package with a picture of Cadet Happy or myself on the outside and the handsome space coin inside. Be sure to save that coin. And be sure you're listening to Space Patrol next week, because you're going to find out all about the biggest prize ever given away to any boy or girl.
Next week on Space Patrol, the biggest prize ever given to any boy or girl. Wow. I'm going to get a box of hot Ralston with the swell space coin right away. How about you?
And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are in a tunnel under the surface of Jupiter's fourth moon looking for Prince Baccarati. Cautiously, they stalk through compartment after compartment in the long, dimly lighted passage.
I think there's another door up ahead here. Why are these compartments on them?
Keep air in the tunnel in case either end is open. Judging by the upward slope of the floor, we're not far from the end of the tunnel.
Hit the ground, Hap. It's a blasting. Why do you see us?
Stop it right over our heads. Hand me the disintegrator before he fires again.
I dropped it when I hit the ground, sir. It's out of reach.
Keep down, Hap, so he can't see us.
I've got you now, Corey. All I got to do is keep blasting away till I hit you.
Be sure to join us again next week for the thrilling story, Return to Planet X, when Wheat Checks, Rice Checks, and Good Hot Ralston again present Space Patrol!
Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Devery. Other players were Bela Kovach, Ken Mayer, and Norman Jolly. Dick Tufeld speaking. Our thanks to the New Jersey State Fair Committee for awarding Space Patrol its coveted Blue Ribbon Award for the outstanding television and radio show of its type. The award will be on display at the New Jersey State Fair September 22nd through October 4th. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Lonesome again present Space Patrol! Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol story in your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.